colors.
Paints, colors, action, all of the above. Welcome back to the Crazy Crafter live stream, everyone. My name is Colin Bressie. I am the Crazy Crafter, joined as always by my dear friends Michael Patterson from Nat One Videos and Danny West. Hello, hello, gentlemen. This week, our featured guest is Elston from Elstonation. Elston, welcome to the American live stream. Yet another one that you've destroyed. Congratulations.
Yes, that happens when I turn up on American streams. I don't know why. It's just me.
Well,
hi.
Just lucky, I guess.
Just lucky. We're very excited to have you on the stream, brother. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun painting some minis up today. We've been looking forward to hanging out with you today, and we're gonna paint up. It's a very hard, it's a hard subject to paint, and Michael's not thrilled at all about what we're painting today.
I'm looking forward to this. I hope I don't screw up my models.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Impossible to screw it up. Elston, how are you doing on this fine evening over there for you in the UK?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. We're going to paint up some Lord of the Rings minis, so I'm super excited. It's not one I paint regularly, and cool. I did some practices recently as well on Gandalf, which I sent over, and I realized the eyes are even smaller than normal eyes that I paint. So I was like, oh, great. So yeah, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm just chilling, rocking around. Saturday afternoon for me. So awesome. All gravy.
Awesome. Michael, how are you doing out there, brother?
Yep, doing good. Had a bit of a mishap this afternoon whenever I was gluing my minis together.
What happened? Tell everyone. What happened?
This is like literally the stupidest thing that I've ever done. So I was gluing the arms on my minis, and just as I was putting the super glue on, my wife called. She was out getting her vaccine this morning. Yay. And I had to answer the phone call, and I managed to transfer some of the super glue onto my phone, and I stuck my phone to my ear. So there you go. After the phone call, I went to put down the phone and I was like, shit. I mean, so I peeled a layer of skin off the top of my ear.
A good start.
Other than that, I'm fine.
Well, yeah, a good end.
Start.
It's getting to the end of the day. It's an epic way to end the day for you. Is what you're saying, dude.
It's all uphill from there. Or no, sorry, downhill from there.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the beginning of your uphill climb.
Yeah,
yeah. Went all through super gluing today.
Danny, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's a good day. I woke up on my own. No work today, so just kind of woke up. I did things. I'm gonna get to paint stuff today. I got my Cantrip Coffee Joko cup.
Boom.
Joko.
It's not in my Joko cup,
and
but I've got my Cantrip too.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. I'm excited. And I've got all of the occupants of Moria to paint today. None of the good guys, but everybody who wants to kill them.
That's
what
cool.
We're going.
Those
for.
will be fun
nice.
too. That's a great place to start. Like, what are we all painting today? What do Elston? What are you? Danny's painting the unwanted guests of Moria. Elston, what are you working on?
I'm going to be working on Aragorn today, nice. Mainly so that we can I can show things at the same time as doing them, and so Michael can learn along with me, and anyone else that's painting them can learn as well. Nice. So a bit of a tutorials for you today.
Love it. Are you doing Aragorn too, Michael?
Yep, I'm doing the same model as Elston specifically so that I have the best chance of success.
Yeah, which is great. That's a great way to work. I've got I too have my. I'm gonna bust out my magnifying glass here for everyone. I've got my Aragorn as well. Yeah, or a Aragorn-esque mini here is what I'm going with. So that'll be we've got some Aragorn action going on today on the stream, and plenty of goblins and orcs for Aragorn to tackle along the way. It sounds like.
Oh, they're gonna get him this time.
They're gonna get him. They're gonna get him. They're gonna get him. Nice. Well, let's dive in. We'll chat and pick your brain more about the essence of Elston as we go along. But there's tons that we that I'd love to chat with you about in addition to mini painting. But as we get going here, before we dive into that, like, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, and how long have you been a content creator? Give us a little bit of insight.
Okay, so I've been doing YouTube for 7 or 8 years now.
Wow.
Like, I would say I'm a veteran, but I've basically just been doing YouTube. I'm not high up in the rankings. I've just been talking to everyone that's been doing YouTube for a very long time. I started off very, very rough and ready of like everything with your phone, just talking about the models I painted. It was a whole different monster back then. Screenshot, like different camera angles, focuses and stuff weren't really a thing. It was more like, I painted this model today. And then you got loads of subs. That was kind of how it worked. Now it's a whole different ball game. So I've seen the development of YouTube and basically been doing mini painting throughout that development. I've seen the rise and the fall of the greats, and I've seen the rise of the new greats, which is very interesting. They're doing very interesting things. But for me, myself, it's mainly I focused around doing Horus Heresy stuff. So if you're not familiar, in the world of Warhammer 40k, there is an era called Warhammer 30k, which is 10,000 years before Warhammer 40k, where the let's try and condense Warhammer 40k really, really, really quickly. There was a guy called the Emperor. He was going to be like rule the galaxy kind of thing. He set up 20 like generals that were like superhuman demigods, and then they were the fathers of the Space Marines. And that all originated in 30k. And then what happened is half the super demigods turned bad, and there was a big civil war, and then the Emperor died, and and 10,000 years later, we've got what we've got. So I focused on the 30k era. Mainly did content around that. I did tutorials, branched out. Then I went over to Chilling Wargamers for a couple of years. So me and Spud were doing stuff. I was a guest on Chilling Wargamers, then I kept on getting invited back, and then sooner or later became a host. And since then, I've been kind of the caretaker of it and looking after things and keeping it ticking over. So, yeah. And now I'm back doing Elstonation and everything else in the world.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
That's kind of me.
And you've been keeping busy. You are a commission painter too, yeah, Elston. You do commission work as well.
Yeah. I do less these days, mainly because I'm more selective about what I want to do commissions for.
Sure.
And also, I'm very, very tired of people seeing the armies I paint and then asking me for a price, and me telling them the price and them going, that's a lot of money. And they go, yes, I know. So I mainly do it for friends now, and I mainly do it. I ask basically, what do you want to paint? What do you want painted first? If it's something I like, I'll be like, yeah, sure. If not, I'm like, not really interested, because if people didn't know, it takes a lot of time to do a YouTube channel in this day and age. So there's only so much time in a day.
Just a titch. It does take up. That was a question that came up the other day. Yesterday. on the stream, and someone was asking, how many hours a week do you put in onto YouTube? And we were all like, we had a slew of content creators in the chat, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah. It easily, if you want to be a competitor, and I don't know if that's the right word, but it certainly feels like kind of the right word. It has to be, someone's like, oh, part-time this, and I was just like, yeah, it's not part-time, it's a full-time thing. It's a full-time thing where it really does require all of that focus and attention, where you're doing a little bit of work, you're doing something for the channel on a daily basis, really. Like
Yeah, pretty much.
it's no joke. But it sure is a lot of fun. And one of the things that I love about this endeavor is been able, again, I've said this multiple times, but connecting with everyone, connecting with Josh over at the Pickle Jar, connecting with you now, Elston, connecting with Spud and all the other Chilling Wargamers. Like, that network has been, I didn't know it existed until I connected with Josh initially, and then he's like, there's this whole network, and I'm like, that is the most brilliant thing I've heard, and like, what a great way to support everyone, and also have a collective place where folks from the community, content creators from the community, can go to not only support each other, but share their amazing talents as well. So if you are not a subscriber to the Chilling Wargamers Network, they do live streams every week as well, and it's a fantastic stream where they bring folks on as well. We can put a link up to the Chilling Wargamers in the chat there. We'll get it up there for you. So
Sweet.
Head on over there and subscribe.
And we always stay on topic and always are talking about wargaming, and we never diverge about anything else.
Just like this stream. We're consummate professionals, Elston. Consummate professionals.
Focus is the one word you use to.
Yeah.
Laser focused.
Well, we are very thrilled, and we're very excited to have you here. If you have any questions for Elston, throw them up in the chat. We haven't done a bunch of... Danny, I'm kind of just throwing it out there. Do you mind monitoring a little bit of the chat today? And
I can read.
I can read. Well, that's good. That's good. We'll have you...
It's a solid start.
We'll have both Danny and I will keep an eye on that chat, and we'll help filter those to Elston as best we can through the stream. But I kind of want to start. I want to start painting. I've got bold. Not only do I want to finish painting him by the end of the stream today, I'm going to make a base for mine as well.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
Ambitious.
I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try.
All right.
Quintessential biting off a lot.
Yeah, that's what I do. Where do you like to start at the beginning of the process? Like, talk to us a little bit about priming. How do you prep your minis specifically as you're getting ready for a session?
I'll tell you what. Let's go even snazzier, and let's switch to this so we can see things. So we can see things.
Love it.
Let me get some light on here as well. So I typically usually prime black. I really, if I can get hold of it, Stynel Res is my primer of choice.
Okay.
It used to be Vallejo, but Stynel Res is so much smoother. I put it on with an airbrush, and it just allows me to control it a little bit more. And 9 times out of 10, I'll follow up by doing a zenithal highlight with white ink. So that's what this is. But what we're going to do is, Michael asked me about this. So what we're going to do is, hopefully it's prime black. And now we're going to do a zenithal highlight with a dry brush instead to allow, because if you try over black, it just takes longer. So if you can jump to white, you'll get an easier start getting the true color that you're after. In fact, it's just the way colors work and stuff like that. So
can you show me the brush that you're going to use, please, Elston?
So right now you got a couple of choices, and that one just fell off. Right, let's pick Legolas here. So this is a fancy one. You don't need this one. Let me find something like this. Will do. So any kind of bigger brush, if it's got softer bristles, that'll do. The softer the bristles, the better you are for doing dry brushing, but it's not 100% required. So you're going to need some kitchen towel as well.
Yep.
I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see this part of things a little bit more. So, simple as white paint. Okay. If you got a wet palette, that's fine.
Yep.
Dab your brush on. Start rubbing it off. I'm assuming a lot of people know how dry brushing kind of works and stuff like that, but
you don't wet your brush before anything.
No.
You just keep totally dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get to the stage of doing like dampening the brush, but I think for beginners it's not really required. So then the next step is you just drag downwards
on the model.
Yeah.
So, but you've already done your Aragorn, right?
Yeah. So I did that with the airbrush. So it's not really like, that's not really the way it will look when I paint Aragorn. But this is more just to show you how you can kind of step ahead when doing mini painting, because if you do, as I said, if you go straight over black, it's just harder. It's just going to take you longer. Sometimes it's beneficial. Like if you were doing Gandalf, I would say start with black, because those robes have a very nice way of lending themselves to it, because Gandalf effectively is one big robe. That's all. It's all cloth there. So the detail you want to get is like the crevices in between, like the deeper parts of the robes. Because apart from that, you've got a hat and some robes and a staff, and that's all the detail that Gandalf has. So
that's all
with that,
needs.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, with that, I would start a darker one and just highlight up, because then you can keep all the darker areas in. Whereas if you're going for like greens, yellow, especially yellows, like that, yeah, it's perfect.
Nice.
So while we're getting our hand brush zenithal in place, the first and most pressing question from the pickle jar.
Yeah.
Elston, what is your favorite 80s cartoon?
Oh yes, Pickle. Thank you so much for Pickle doesn't like last time they let me loose on Chilling Wargamers on my own. I didn't talk about wargaming at all. In fact, I basically encouraged the chat to just list off every 80s cartoon that they ever loved. So, or 90s as well. Like I was born in 1984, so the 80s to 90s was my jam.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of ones that are really close to my heart, but I think the coolest one, probably Biker Mice from Mars.
Ooh, yeah.
Whoa, I have not thought about that show in a long time.
Yeah. I like they were cool. They were cool. There's like, if you want to go old school, there's stuff like Visionaries. I think there's a show called Cops. And pole position. Jason and the Wheeled Warriors. That was epic. Yeah. I could go all this could be the entire stream.
Do you guys remember a show called Killer Tomatoes from Mars?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yep, I remember that. That was amazing. Like Sharky and George. Oh, I've started already.
Thanks, Pickle. Thanks.
Yeah. So
it has begun.
It's an important question. It is an important question.
That's what happens when we get let loose with that question.
Actually, let's do that again a little bit.
So
cool. Yeah. That's so that is already we've already like that highlight tip is already a leap forward for me.
Yeah,
which is great.
It's all about like color theory and stuff like that, because effectively when you're painting, it's all about light. And if you put a color over a dark, you don't get the light reflecting back off of it. So if you put yellow over black, it's pretty much going to be black. But if you put yellow over white, you get yellow. So yeah, all a bit interesting.
Yeah, I think that's actually been a point of concern and confusion for me for a very long time. I see a lot of people start with black, as their base color.
Yeah,
and you know, my background in painting came from like scenic painting, like painting scenery for theaters and stuff.
Yeah,
and you base out in white because like it takes so much more work to cover black. It takes so much more work to get decent coverage over such a dark color, and you desaturate it so much. And maybe in like that grimdark setting, I don't know, where things can be dirtier or whatever, like that's a go-to. But I find that any of the natural crevices and stuff that you get by like sort of layering up thin paint just go away, because you have to do so much work to get your uniform color over black.
I think that's why zenithal highlighting has become a big thing, because you can instantly get the shadows without, and you get the color at the top, but if you've done it right, it's done like half of the shading work for you already. So you're like, all of your shadows are still there. So when your color goes over it, it's that color, but it's a much darker color, and therefore reflects it. That's kind of the trend that people are going for. They're kind of this semi-realism. Whereas you look back in like the 90s and the 80s of mini painting, when Games Workshop was first doing their stuff, everything was super bright and super colorful, because people weren't really going that way with their painting. It's more of a more current thing which has sort of sprung up. So yeah, but yeah, everyone good with their dry brushing?
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, I'm good. I started at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
how we do it.
I started at the end. I was like, but I want it to be dry by the end of the stream. So
fair enough.
People are super excited about Biker Mice from Mars in the chat.
Yes.
I make that clear. And Campaign Terrain is a gosh darn hero, bringing up I think he's bringing up Pirates of Darkwater.
Oh yes.
I don't know if I've
forgot
seen
about
that.
that.
What he brought
I don't
up.
know if I've seen that one.
Yeah.
And I think he's talking about Pirates of Darkwater, and he is a gosh darn hero. That show rocked.
Was that the thing where they had like, was it like a monkey bird or something that loved pomegranates or something?
I think so, yeah. And then they had like the scariest like pirate villain guy who was all like craggy face, had the weird eyeball, and
yeah, I remember that.
What is the name of this show?
Pirates of Darkwater.
Pirates of Darkwater. All right, I'm writing it down. I haven't seen.
So the question is, what is the name of this show? Is it like Cartoon Network? Or, I don't know.
The crazy.
There's literally no reason why it couldn't be. I'm sure there's no copyright infringement on that.
Yeah,
it's sure we'd be safe to get away with that.
It's the Saturday morning live stream crafting, talking about cartoons.
If we're going to Saturday morning,
if we're gonna
we
go
may
Saturday
as well
morning,
bring Saturday morning
we kinda
cartoons
have to,
into it.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. I've already forgotten the name. One more time. The Pirates of what?
Darkwater.
The Pirates of Darkwater. Okay.
You can always tell when someone was kind of when they were born, because the older the person is, the more like unintelligible. And if someone starts off with Spider-Man, then you're like, yeah, you're from the 90s. Whereas someone starts off with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, you're like, you're from the 80s.
Right, 100%. Well, I mean, whenever 80s cartoons get brought up, like I was raised on Voltron.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like that was one of my earliest childhood memories, was waking up early, and before my dad would go to work, we would put on the episode of Voltron that got broadcast, and that was my jam. And then later it went into all of the Gundam. Basically, that was my gateway drug into giant mecha.
Nice.
So, awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Can I just ask Elston, what are you doing next on this Aragorn model?
Right. So
you want to paint stuff?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here ready to go. I'm like,
Right.
Mike is so excited. We are too.
I'm in an iron, and this is the thing which it comes up when we get into batch painting as well. Is you have to kind of decide what's the most difficult thing you want to accomplish and what's going to impact later. So if you start with the dark color, the downside is if you muck up and it goes over to the light color, you've then got to correct that light color back afterwards. So for example, if we start at a brown down the bottom and we accidentally get brown on these areas where we want to be green, we'd have to touch this up with white to bring it back to so that the green is flat across the whole section. However, if the brown is like the deepest area of the model, it's going to be the most difficult to get to. It usually makes a bit more sense to go with that sort of thing. So this is a point where it kind of a little bit of personal preference, but it's also what is the most annoying thing, and usually get that out of the way first, and then we can move on to stuff which is easier. So I'm thinking the cloak will probably save till afterwards because it's so raised up and there's such a large area of it. So I'm thinking maybe boots, and we'll go for a kind of like the leather under thing, whatever it is. I can't basically
leather brown.
Yeah, effectively we'll go with that. So with that, I'm going to use some Rhinox hide for me. What was the one you had, Michael?
I've got leather brown, but I also have like a burnt umber here as well.
Okay, that's fine. Leather brown will suffice as well. You said you got strong tone there as well.
Strong tone wash.
Yes. Okay, that's fine then. So okay, we'll do it. We'll do it that way. We'll do a lighter coat, then wash it back down. Which is, you can do it different ways. You can either start dark and work your way up, or you can start light, wash it back down, and then highlight back up.
Okay, let's do
so
that way.
So,
start with the brown.
Yeah. So I'll just see if I can find a reference picture of Yord Aragorn here somewhere. Right. So he's pretty much, it's like dark brown-ish most of, apart from the green cloak. It's mainly kind of dark brown. I mean, I think his boots are black, aren't they? By the looks of things.
No. I'm looking at the box here. They look like a light red leather with a darker brown.
I'm looking at Google Images and it's throwing me all different kinds of Aragorn. Like there's a movie one, and I think in the movie one he's got either very dark brown boots or they're black boots. Right. But either way, that's fine. We'll just go with a light brown over the boots, and yeah. As well, just in case anyone wasn't aware, the whole thin your paints thing is a real thing. So if they're a bit too thick and obscure in detail, just mix some water. So, Colin,
yes,
I have
sir.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So you have a lot of weapons.
I do.
Have you ever veered into like the martial arts territory of like staffs and nunchucks and stuff like that?
I haven't done a whole lot of martial. The closest thing that it would have been to martial arts training, a little bit of European martial arts with a little bit of longsword training, but most of it would be knife training, so like Salat, right, or a little bit of Kali. As far as martial training within the last like few years, it's been unarmed for me. I was doing it pretty frequently, training with a buddy of mine who has done some Russian Sistema work, which is what the Russian military and the special forces train in. And I really like that work more than the martial aspect. It's the breath control. It's about retraining your nervous system. So when you are in the middle of combat, you don't tense up and create tension. A lot of it is about, it's a little bit like Sistema is a little bit about Aikido using other people's momentum against them, but it's also about absorbing energy and not letting, if there's tension and something impacts the tension, that causes more damage and impact upon the person receiving it. So I like it because Sistema has been a cool one to work on because it's about breath and relaxation, which is extremely important for actors, and I found it extremely useful. But I haven't done a whole lot. I would say bladed work, more knife stuff than anything, Elston.
Okay. Yep. No, it was only reason why is I did. How long did I do? I did Taekwondo for 5-6 years.
Oh, nice! I did that. I did that too. I've done Taekwondo.
They had like a side class that kind of went on with it. I can't remember what they're called, but it started evolving like weapons, pressure points, and stuff like that, and more like self-defense, the kind of stuff you might actually use rather than what Taekwondo and karate mainly kind of teach.
Right.
But one of the things I really enjoyed was a Joe staff.
Yes.
Which is
little shorter, little shorter than the quarterstaff. Yes.
Like 4 foot long pole. And I really enjoyed using that. The downside is when I moved to out of my parents' house and moved in when I've got a dog, my dog sticks by your heel every second of the day.
No.
And I am terrified of my life to swing that staff around like I used to, because I guarantee I would just clobber him. So yeah, I was just curious as well whether or not you'd done any work with any of the other weapons.
I mean, in the organization that I've trained with and that I belong to, the Society of American Fight Directors, there's 8 disciplines within the organization in which you can train and test for certification within. And so I've trained in quarterstaff, and with that, there's always variations of that particular discipline. So like I'm doing quarterstaff work, right? But I can also apply this to, what if I put a foam axe head on it, and now I've got a halberd, and now I'm doing a halberd polearm class, right?
Cool.
So there's definitely the training has bled into kind of a smattering of a bunch of different stuff. But again, most of my training comes from the theatrical component of side. It has martial application to it, but our work is based in how do we perform, how are we able to train and make sure that we're able to perform this type of work 6 to 7 times a week for a 6-month run and not let anyone get injured and keep everyone happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair
but
enough.
that's something that, I'm fiending for, Elston, as soon as we are able to do so, to get back to into a classroom and do some more training. I want to get back and do some, like, I really would love to do some, I really enjoyed Kali. I didn't really get to do a bunch of Kali. It would just be nice to get together and meet with my friends and work out again and practice choreography and actually sling some steel again. I cannot wait. But quarterstaff is one of my favorite, like the Joe staff that you're talking about, Elston.
Yeah.
Probably one of the more universal weapons, and anyone could have a stick. Right?
Yeah.
Anyone
broomstick.
Can have a stick, broomstick, anything, and it's you didn't need to be from a wealthy upper class to know how to wield a polearm. Very universal and versatile weapon. The staff and gives you distance, gives you a little bit more reach than your opponent.
Yeah, for little guys like me, that's kind of an essential.
I couldn't agree more. Agree more. That's cool. I'm glad you've had some fun with some Joe staff. When I make it out to the UK eventually, you'll have to show me some Joe staff, and we'll have to crush it.
Yeah, no worries. I got rather excited about all the weapons and stuff, and I bought a load. I bought some Tomfas, which are nightsticks, nice, effectively.
Yeah. Nice.
Never got a chance to use them because I was like, well, you kind of like. Do you remember the Big Boss Man from wrestling? Back in the day? Like the way he used it and stuff, he just like clobbered people with it. And I'm like, I looked at how you're supposed to use them. They're basically like arm guards, but they've got you poke with the end. I don't know. It was something I always wanted to try, but I never found the time. Nunchucks, I practiced with them a bit, but
dude, nunchucks are don't you gotta be careful when you practice with those.
Yeah. How many times being a guy have you swung it the wrong way? And it's just like, oh no.
It wouldn't take me long to do. I haven't done a lot. I've only done a little bit with nunchucks, but I can tell you it would only take me a couple of times or one time to be like, yeah, I'm gonna rethink my work with these nunchucks right now. I don't know.
So the chat is concerned about your ergonomics, Michael. That's because I've changed my camera and they can't see how poor mine are, or they'd definitely be more worried about me.
Explain this in layman terms.
They think that maybe you're hunching over too much and you're gonna hurt yourself.
Thanks, Mom.
Tina says, I always have trouble about where things end and another part starts. And is that just differentiating the paint colors as you're blocking it on the model, perhaps, is the idea?
Yeah.
And then a question for Elston. What is your favorite brush to work with? Also, a shot analysis on synthetic brushes versus real hair brushes.
Ooh.
A short analysis. Short analysis.
Okay. So I have to say it's because I'm sponsored by them, but generally my favorite brushes are Broken Toad. I've been using these for
Broken Toad.
Broken Toad. As ye old pickle likes to say. To be fair, when Chris, who owns Broken Toad, was setting up the system, me and Spud helped him like test the website and stuff like that. So we don't get sponsored because we're really good painters. We get sponsored because he remembers who helped him start. So cool. which is kind of nice that he remembers us.
You guys happen to be really, really, really fucking good painters too. So don't.
On that. Thank you. But when it comes to synthetics versus natural hair, like sable hair brushes, which are what Broken Toad and Winsor & Newton and most of them are, the natural hair ones are a lot softer, which gives you an element of control. What I tend to find happens, I'll see if I can, this kind of has done it a little bit. The synthetics will effectively, from my experience, melt. After a certain amount of use. The tip will like curl.
Yes.
And there is nothing you can do after that point. It's done. There's no recovering it. The sable hair ones don't seem to get that as much because I think because they're an element of natural hair, they can actually be conditioned. So like you condition your actual hair, you can kind of move them back into that. So you get a lot more use out of sable hair and natural hair brushes as long as you look after them. I just would not use sable hair brushes with metallics because that's just not a good idea. You'll just wreck them because there's actual metal in metallics. So it just shreds them. So yeah, if you're going to do metallics, use synthetics. Everything else, usually fine. Just try to avoid washes as well with sable hair because what you don't want is the paint to go up into like the end of the bristles. I think it's called the ferrule. I always get the names.
Yeah. Ferrule, yep.
Yeah, you basically, what you don't want is because it will basically dry there in a clump, and then that will force the bristles apart. And it's a quick and easy way to ruin your brush. So, yeah.
I've already ruined one brush, and I've only painted 2 minis with it.
Good going there, dude.
That's why you get the first set of brushes are army painter brushes. You know what I mean? Like it's a good set to learn on. I just retired my my brushes, my first set of brushes, which were synthetic, and they now belong to my son, who's extremely excited about that. But yeah, I've using transitioning from the synthetic brushes, it is a huge difference in control that you were talking about on the paints. Really, really nice. So
yeah,
I'm digging that. I'm digging that a lot.
So
how often
you
should you condition them, Elston?
That is a question and a half, that one, because I probably will get crucified for saying I don't condition mine that often. It's if I've done a really long stint, then I might run them through the brush soap and leave them. But as long as I haven't allowed the paint to like go to the end and I've washed them thoroughly enough, that's good enough. But if you
monster.
If you,
how dare you?
If you are like dunking it and going full bore into it, I would say every time you dunk your brush to that extent and like paint goes up to the ferrule, start using your.
Absolutely. Sorry, carry on.
That was it. That was it.
That was just.
What happened?
I dropped my brush. Just
Oh, good. Well, at least you didn't super glue it to your face.
That is true. Yep.
This could happen before the end of the stream, knowing me.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. What's the over-under out there, everyone? Does Michael super glue his brush to his face before the end of the stream? We'll see. I don't think so. I'm excited to see where everyone paints. I like how we came in here, like, everyone's, like, down to business, man. Like, they're all, like, ready to go. Like, I was like, I know how hard it is, because I've seen you guys, like, paint on the streams before. Like, painting like, getting one done in a sitting is possible, but you gotta move with it. So I'm excited to see. I think we can do it, gentlemen. I think it's possible.
We'll see.
I think it's possible.
This definitely, I'm noticing this zenithal highlight thing and the difference that it makes compared to the mini that I did the other day, just painting straight on black. So yeah. It kind of adds...
Zane thinks you might be a little bit lower than the rest of us volume-wise, Colin. Just popping that in.
Oh, thank you. It's because I'm turning away and talking. I'm gonna do this. Now I'll be a lot louder as I'm working. That's gonna work.
And Michael, I'm a jerk and totally cut you off, but you're noticing that even as you just layer on your base colors, that you're seeing a little bit more pop. Is that the deal?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's great.
That is
it's just a difference. I mean, I painted the blacksmith thing this week, and yeah, just exactly that. It's interesting. I mean, I've kind of. I mean, Elston's just going way too fast for me, so I'm having to just choose things as I go along here. And
do you want me to explain what I've done at this point? Because I've actually done one color. I've only done one color on the mini. So what I've done is I used that leather brown like all over. So boots, like legs, middle section, weapons, everything apart from cloak, face, sword, and hands, effectively. So what I've done now is I'm going in to try and split up the browns, which is trickier than it's not as tricky. So what I've done for people at home that maybe don't have the paints, or maybe for Michael, I mixed some of the leather brown with some black and then added some red to it. And you get this kind of mahogany color.
It's for the boots.
I'm doing this on the middle section at the moment, but you can do that. Like when it comes to like leathers and stuff like this, you can kind of take your pick of where you want things. It doesn't really matter too much. The one thing when it comes to mini painting is you want the focus to head up towards the face. Is generally where most things when it comes to mini painting, you want that to happen. So what you don't want to do is draw too much attention downwards. So if the boots are like super bright, then that can cause a problem, but it doesn't mean they can't be highlighted at the same time.
Can you hold your mini just up to the camera there for me?
Like about that?
Yeah, and then can I see the back?
Yep. So the back is literally just...
Okay, leather brown, and now, so you've mixed black, red, and leather brown for that color.
Yeah, just for that middle bit there.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now.
Cool. Awesome sauce.
Black, red, and leather brown. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try that out too. I'm gonna try it out. I like that. I like it. I'm gonna experiment with that.
So what you get is if you just mix black and leather brown, you get this kind of grungy brown color.
Yeah.
Whereas if you want a little bit more vibrant, so people who know Games Workshop paints will know the paint Rhinox hide.
Yep.
That effectively has an element of red in it. So that's all we did with the adding the red in, which we kind of moved it more towards mahogany, and just make leathers a bit more interesting. So I'll show you about layering them in a minute, and yeah.
Ooh, I like it.
I like layering.
Violet Unicorn for you, Michael. Can you do more live streams where you just talk and do paint?
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
I think they want it. I think they want it.
This is the weird thing, man. Like, I don't know what it is about the Northern Irish accent or whatever, but I get that a lot. People like the tone of a Northern Irish accent for some reason. It's really weird.
Well, consider me immune to your Irish wiles. I'm married, Michael, happily. Seducing me with your charming tones and your
dulcet
tones. Yeah.
Dulcet tones. I haven't gotten tired of your voice yet. I love it. It's
just my face.
Just your face. That's true. That's not wrong. Although if it came super glued with a phone to it today, it would have been a very interesting change of pace.
Yeah.
Definitely would have increased the resale value.
It's weird, actually. I mean, this week, do you know what? We were talking earlier about how much time it takes to do YouTube and stuff like that there, and especially whenever you're working on a bigger build or a project or something. Sometimes those projects take 2 or 3 weeks. And if you're trying to put out a video every week, so then you have to have small projects alongside a big project. You know what I mean? So you're doing multiple things at one time. And this week, like moving back to London and everything, I'm kind of a bit behind on everything. So Colin and I were chatting the other night that this week, instead of doing a video, me and Colin might do a little live stream later in the week on that one videos instead, and that'll be the video this week, just to put something out this week. But what I was thinking, Colin, is we could make that another painting live stream like this, just doing minis. And actually, I would say we could open that up to anyone who wants to join us, like Josh out there, if you want to join us, and Elston, if you want to join us.
We could certainly do that. We could totally jam out and paint this week. That would be cool. If
you guys are up for it, we could do that.
Yeah, you realize if you let me and Pickle on the same stream, you've got a good chunk of the chilling Wargamers, and therefore basically chaos will. Yeah, if Spud shows up as well, it'll just be chaos.
Chaos.
Like chaos reign.
I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'm down. I'm down if y'all are.
The thing is, I can always delete it afterwards. So.
No, this may become like a.
I'll just delete it afterwards.
This may become perhaps a pissing contest. I don't know, but Night Terrain wants to know who has more minis, Elston or Pickle. And since Pickle can't be here to defend himself, Elston, what would you like to say regarding that?
I've definitely got more than he has.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think he would say the same. I've heard him talk about that before too.
Yeah, he at the moment, if people don't know, I'm doing a challenge this year where I'm not buying any more minis. I'm only trying to finish the minis I've got.
Yep.
And Pickle has this crazy goal of thinking he can outpaint me, and his theory is, if I get to the point where I've got no minis left, he wins. So he's trying to keep pace with me, and I'm like, all right,
okay, cool.
If you have seen that video series I'm doing at the moment where it shows how much I painted, right?
Good to know.
Super funny.
A Violet Unicorn. Another question for all the Crazy Craft men. Can you do a group chat with all of us?
Group chat.
What does that mean?
How does that work? Like, on what platform? We're flexible. We like talking.
A group chat.
We're narcissists. We want to be looked at. So yeah, let's make that happen.
I like the maybe it's something we could set up on Discord one of these days. That'd be cool.
One of the voice chat channels on there would be good.
Yeah, I think that's a definite possibility.
All right, we do have one incredibly serious question coming in from Spray Black Studios, and thank you for this.
That's Rich, right?
Yeah, that's Rich.
What's up,
Rich?
Rich?
This is a true topic of the day.
Can't wait.
If you could only eat one type of cheese for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I would go with Applewood.
Like an Applewood cheddar?
Yeah, sorry, Applewood cheddar, yeah.
It's a solid choice.
Applewood cheddar?
Yeah.
Have you had Pilgrim's Choice cheddar? It's lovely stuff.
I think I have, but we end up with Cathedral City more than anything else at the moment in our household.
Do you guys get Kerrygold over there?
No.
That's the only butter in my house.
It is the best butter. That it is. They sell it at our big surplus, like Costco superstore, where you do like an annual membership and they have everything in bulk. Kerry butter is the only butter that lives in our household now, too, mate. Like, that's it.
Okay, quick mini painting question here, Elston. So,
gotcha.
Sorry, we're interrupting the cheese live stream.
Why are you interrupting the cheese live stream? Sorry, guys. Brought Elston on for the cheese live stream. Sure, let's talk about minis.
So on the underside,
yep,
like you have this like flat section of the robes. Do you just paint that?
Just go dark, just like a dark brown or sort of even black. That's because it 9 times out of 10 you're not going to see that, and as long as it's not grey, then yeah, you're all good.
This is already looking like better than what I was expecting, because
that's good to know.
I'm getting good advice, so
good to know. Glad I'm not talking absolute dribble. So.
No. It's nice of you to not come on and talk dribble. This is great. I love the fact that that's something that I started doing, that I started experimenting with a little bit more during the diorama making when I'm painting the minis, Elston. Mixing the colors together to, like, if I don't have it, well, then mix it and make it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if I don't have it. And I'm actually, you know, that what I really am discovering, and I know this is probably not news to you, but it is for me. It's a reinforcement for something that I know I've watched at some point. But in making your highlights, when you go back to highlight, using those colors, because it doesn't before I would just take like a straight color and not like mix it with anything. It would just be that pure thing with like not even like with maybe a little bit of water, and it does highlight, but it was very harsh. It was a very harsh line that it was creating. But now mixing the colors together, that it's a little bit more subtle, and I think it just looks a little bit better.
Yeah, there's kind of like a toss up between like adding so much and also thinning it back down as well at the same time, because if you add too much in, it's, as you say, it's very harsh, but also if you thin too much, then nothing really happens. And that's how like the pro winners of like painting competitions, when it's near enough water they're putting on, but they put like 10,000 layers on, and you're like, I can't be bothered with doing that much. But yeah, if you want to win the competitions,
that's what you got to do.
Yarp.
Amy Root got excited about cheese. She's an expert about cheese. She knows all about cheese, coming from from Wisconsin. She's a cheese expert. What is your favorite cheese, Root? I didn't see it. I would have to go. Speaking of Kerrygold, makes a Kerrygold white cheddar that is to die for. At my D&D sessions, when we meet in person, Kerrygold cheddar is cut up in cubes with like as part of like the snacks. Like cheddar, that cheddar is on the table.
Like,
not
is it like Swords and Cheese, the Amy Root story? Is that like the life? Like
that might be.
Like...
That's a good life, man. Like cheese is a big deal for Wisconsin. Like that you can't mess around with cheese. You can't mess around with cheese in Wisconsin. It's important.
See, and like here, I'm sitting and I'm like, I don't want to give a real answer. I want to let this whole thing burn and be like, oh, just like Kraft singles. Right?
Kraft
like that's
singles.
The only good cheese, right?
Oh my gosh.
And just like let the chat blow up.
Oh my gosh.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Burn him. He's a witch.
He's a witch.
The town that I grew up in is famous for cheese. Coleraine cheddar. Coleraine.
Oh, cool.
Do you know Coleraine cheddar?
I don't.
No?
I don't.
Yeah. So I mean, if I had stayed in Ireland, I would have either be working in a Coleraine cheddar factory by now, or AVX microchips factory. That was everyone in our town works in those two factories.
Wow.
What an interesting spread of professions in that town.
Yeah.
Cheese or microchips? Okay.
Basically.
Microchip cheeses.
Mm-hmm. All right. Michael, how are you getting on with that brown? Are you done with that bit yet?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. You've gone the step up, which I was going to suggest next is start adding more red in. So I'm not sure if that's the light that's coming in like that, but...
Well, I think I maybe just probably added a bit of red, probably a bit more red than what you initially did.
That's fine. It depends what you want to do next with it, because if you want it to end up looking more like a red leather, you go for like washing it back down at this point in time. But it's up to you, your personal preference. I have another trick which I wanted to show you though first.
Oh yeah.
So what I did is I took some of our leather brown and some black, and I'll see if I can get the camera to focus in on this bit. So this little puddle I've got here is probably about 4 to 5 water to paint. Sorry, 5 to 1 water to paint.
Okay.
So it's very if I draw this out, you can see it's
almost just like a wash.
Yeah. Well, that's effectively what it is. Right. Is we're creating a wash there. So if you didn't have a wash, you could use this technique of doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was just going to do this over the boots. So because I want the boots to be less appealing, I'm going to make them look a bit darker. So it's kind of, if you had a dark brown wash or even a black wash, that would suffice.
Strong tone wash here?
Yeah. I mean, I might even, if I was using a strong tone, I might even throw a little bit of black into that and put a tiny bit of black on your brush and then mix it in with a strong tone, possibly a little bit of water as well, so it stays at that kind of wash consistency. Mm-hmm. And then put it over. The one thing which I think a lot of people don't realize is that you don't have to stick with just one layer of wash. If it's not looking right, you can go in and add another layer and another layer and another layer, and if it doesn't look right or it goes too far, you can highlight back up again. So I think that's a problem a lot of mini painters have when they start out. They think they've got one shot to pull it off.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Which is really, really not true. It's it's as long as it's thin enough, it's very forgiving. It's point something of a millimeter in of paint. So yeah,
it's not the end of the world for sure.
No.
I definitely feel I can relate to that. When I first I was I got one. I feel like I would have to listen to the Eminem song "Lose Yourself in the Moment" to psych myself up to get ready for this one. It was you only got one shot, right? I'm not gonna sing the whole thing to spare everyone, but yeah, I definitely I put a lot of pressure on myself when I first started into the hobby, and I didn't need to because it's okay.
I mean, that is the weird thing. I have always felt a little bit intimidated by mini painting, and I don't know why. I mean, you look at the paint jobs that a lot of these painters do, and you just go flip me, what's the point in even trying? I can't get anywhere near that. Yeah. But it and this is a good thing about channels like Elston's and Pickle Jar and Benji's Hobbies is that helped me just to feel not nervous about it, because I was watching and just going chill out guys, it's all cool, just do your thing and yeah, so that definitely has encouraged me to get into it. So there you go, Elston.
Yeah, it's a strange dynamic shift which has happened in YouTube at the moment where you get people like Age of Squidmar and Miniac and stuff like that, and they're hitting these kind of semi-professional, pro competition paint jobs, but they've spent 2-3 weeks painting that one model, and for everyone else, it's I don't really want to commit that kind of time frame towards mini painting. if you go down that journey, then yeah, you can get there. But it doesn't need to be that way. And the problem is the lower channels that are doing these kind of intermediate / beginner jobs kind of get overlooked a bit, even though they're like a valuable source for all the new people coming into the hobby community. So
for me, it's more valuable. I want to be watching something that I feel like I can achieve.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's even for terrain building. I don't like. That's what I want to be watching is stuff that like, okay, can I actually make this? If I can't make it, I probably won't watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If you need like tools XYZ to pull this off, and then you're like, okay, that's going to cost me 1,500 quid, and
yeah. I mean, there is such a broad difference between the one showroom quality, what is that, golden something or other, golden
demon.
Yeah, the golden demon thing versus I've got a unit of 20 of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to play with them at some point.
And that's it, isn't it? I would like to actually use these.
And if you're looking at that 20 hours per mini, I don't how many, you're at 400 hours to get your unit onto the table.
Wow.
Yeah. Get your unit on the table.
Oh, like for like easy there. We're keeping our PG rating, sir.
Sorry.
I mean, it's
keeping
not made
that
for
PG
kids.
Rating. Although Pickle Jar has been trying his best to ruin that rating in the chat via. I have ignored most of the innuendos Pickle Jar has put into the chat.
Innuendo.
Me and Pickle have a like ongoing thing now. If we ever join another stream, it seems to be we try and distract each other a bit. Whether or not it's in the chat or whether I just like text him or something.
That should go well on a live stream this week for Michael and I. Then that'll be great if you guys join. That's good.
And it usually involves either us just taking the mick out of each other's accent.
Hours of fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right, doing my wash on these boots.
Sweet. So,
I'm going to add a bit of black to that, like you said.
Yeah. I said it's because it's one of those things where like boots are like this weird thing where they get scuffed, so they end up being lighter, but at the same time they get the most mud and dirt on them, so they end up being darker at the same time.
Yep. Oh, that's what I should do. I should muck up his boots a little bit at the end too. I'm gonna add a little bit of the mud. I got some of these. Shoot, where is it?
When you look at my paint job and it's all splotchy and gross, that's just me adding a little bit of road dirt. That's me just mucking it up to give it a little flair.
A little road dirt.
It was all part of the plan.
I got some.
No. He just ran into specifically a brown blotch on his shoulder. That's what he did.
These
these
technical paints, right? The Citadel, like, what is this? The Armageddon Dunes here. Elston, like, it's the first time I've used it for like the bases because it's supposed to dry and like crack a little bit, and I've never used it, so I'm trying it and we'll see how it goes.
If you do, you've got to pile that stuff on.
Yeah, I'm figuring that out. Look at this. This is from earlier in the stream. It's like it's not as I mean, it's sparse. I think I might. I actually have an idea of what I'm gonna do with the rest of it. I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna go another route with it. I'm gonna add another element to it. So.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna try some PVA and some sand is what I'm gonna do with it, and try to make it a little bit a little more natural element to it. We'll see.
Cool.
I mixed a scarlet red, the chocolate leather brown, and a little bit of this bone, the Morghast bone together for this reddish color in here, which, creating almost the burgundy type flavor, and I'm really digging that for some of the leather and vest work here on Eric.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice. So,
I like that
when it comes to layering and stuff like that,
Yes.
you guys got a good understanding of how that works, or?
I mean,
No, it's worth explaining everything for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make this like a Reddit, like, explain it to me like I'm a kindergartner.
Okay, all right, cool.
Exactly.
Okay. So, right. So you have to, this is a little bit of like light theory and color theory and stuff like that. So
All right.
everything that you paint, is only so opaque. There's an element of translucency to all paints. So every single tone that you put down before it will show through that color. So this leads back to what we did earlier with the dry brushing, is you put a lighter color underneath so that when you put these colors on, they become vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing happens with layering as well. What you do is effectively you decrease the area you paint. So usually this is the higher areas you aim for.
Mm-hmm.
So raised bits and stuff like that. But also, if you thin the paints down, you get the transition between the paints becomes fainter and fainter. So it looks more natural. The biggest problem a lot of people have is you can see the brushstroke, and people can see that paint on.
Yep.
The more you thin it down, the less chance you've got of seeing that. But it does mean that you have to put more layers down. So you dilute the layer so that it becomes more like water. Put it on, you might not see much. Put the next layer on, next layer, and slowly decrease it, and you start getting the gradient that effectively you're after. So one thing just to remember, if to take away from any of this, is when you're painting, just remember the layer that came before it, and that's going to show through on what your color you're putting down.
I see.
So,
Pro tip:
yeah.
dropping knowledge bombs. If I had sound effects, I'd go. Bam, 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 bam. That's what I would have done right there.
I'm sure Pickle's doing it for me.
Good. Thank you, Pickle.
So, and like if anyone's watching my screen, camera right now, is I'm trying to highlight this little bit of leather here. So I'm effectively just touching up the edges of it like that. So we're not putting a lot down.
With what color?
This is I've started progressively adding more of the snake bite. The leather brown back into the red mix. So the leather brown is actually now becoming my highlight color again. So I've put it back down, and now I'm bringing it back up again.
Nice.
But I'm just avoiding the lower areas so that starting to get like a sense of the picture itself.
Yep. Makes sense.
I feel bad. Everyone goes quiet after this. I'm like, this is not usually how the stream
We're
goes.
in thought.
No, we're in thought, and like I'm listening to all of it, like absorbing it. Like I've got my little notepad here too, Elston, where I'm like it's good information, man. Like I think I told myself when we were doing this stream, I was like, damn it, I'm gonna paint a mini by the end of this stream. Like I really want to do it, and I love I think. I've been doing mini painting now so before I got into terrain, Elston, it was mini painting. Like
cool.
That was what I was doing. And there was a time there where I was just like, when I was on break from work and I didn't have anything lined up, I was just like, okay, cool. I'm home, I'm alone, and everyone else is doing their thing. So what do? A mini a day. A mini a day was the thing. And like I did it for like a week, where I painted a mini a day, and I was like, yes. And then that little shelf, like those are some crummy minis that I painted early on, but like that was some of the most fun that I've had painting. Like getting into it, like excited, just learning how to do the hobby. So it was fun. Lots of things where I go, oh yeah, I didn't water any of my paints down when I first started painting. Those are really thick, blotchy faces that have no definition.
Yeah. I think we've all got those.
Yes.
You go back and you're like, oh.
But I love them. Like they're cool. Like they're the early ones. So they're the early ones that help me cut my teeth, as it were. So
I've actually got a video coming out soon. Pickle's seen it already, and it's about painting stuff that people give to you, but it's also got another message in there of like, if you think you're at a level with painting, then you're doing it wrong. And there is not really, like, you don't hit a level, you just learn techniques.
Yeah.
You could be good at one thing but bad at another thing, and there's not really, there's not pros, there's not things. It's just that's why people call it a journey, because you're just figuring it out.
Figuring it out. We're all just on the journey.
Yeah, and this is actually a lot of fun for me, because I sort of just made up my way of painting minis, and it is not the way that other people paint minis, it seems like. And so just hearing somebody that does it well is kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
So.
It's not, it's about what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. So if people say you're doing your fun wrong, then yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Hard
You're doing
disagree.
it wrong. I'm switching lights here. Oh my gosh, that's bright.
You're doing your fun wrong.
You're doing your fun wrong.
A lot of people do tend to do that, though.
Yeah, it's surprising. There is a lot of like, you've done that wrong.
Yeah, like,
okay.
That sucks. I don't like that.
And I had fun the whole time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's important. Actually, there's probably a better light for everyone to see my dude. Let's do that. Let me go right here. Getting there. Getting there. Cool. Alright, what do I want to do next with this dude? I guess I have hair, I have layer. I want to get I don't have all. Do you have all of your base layers down, Elston?
I don't have the green down.
Okay.
At the moment.
Alright, well that makes me feel a little better. I don't have that one down. I don't have I'm missing some base layers too still, is what I'm saying.
No,
so
that's fine. I don't have skin. Actually, I don't have skin or the metal down either. So there's not that much skin on this one though. So
that's interesting. You didn't start with the face, Elston. You don't start with the where did you start on your mini? Because I dove into mine and I didn't even see. Where did you start on yours?
I covered all of this area that's brown in the leather brown.
Okay.
And then I moved back down to the torso and made that a darker brown and mixed in with the reds. I've been washing the boots with the black brown kind of wash.
Nice.
I'm just moving up to the hair because I've washed this in effectively just a black because it's one of those things in the movie. It kind of taints my image of it. But at some points it looks like he's got brown hair. Some points it looks like he's got black hair.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's just like, okay, so I'm kind of leaning more towards the black hair.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to do the light halo, which happens on hair.
Oh, yeah. How do you do that?
So what it is effectively, just to show you how it works. Unlike other materials, you usually highlight at the top. So you put the lightest point at the top. With hair, because it's naturally reflective, it usually creates this kind of halo. So it goes around kind of where your temple is. I'm pointing at my own head, but you can't see it. Effectively, it goes around this point here and then sort of wraps around and comes and joins back at the other temple. And you have it effectively black, but then you put the highlight in this circle and leave the center black. Mm-hmm. So a common way to kind of, if you wanted a simplistic thing, look at anime hair and the way they highlight hair, because that's the easiest way to do it. It's just.
Are you just doing it with straight white?
I'm doing it with a grey at the moment. I'll probably go up to a white in a very, very high point, but I'm just mixing in some black and the white together, and then whether or not this shows up, but you can kind of imitate hair by just doing little downward flicks.
Yep.
And then it simulates the hair, and without it actually, I don't know if that's actually showing up, but
quite a light grey then, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if you have a look at someone with black hair, when the sun hits it or the light hits it, it goes white. The area where it's highlighted is white. It's very peculiar because you're like, it's black hair, but where it's reflecting, it's white. It's like this whole weird trick with light that happens.
There is a party foul in the chat, just for the record. Pickle Jar just had Chinese delivered to his house, and he did not get enough for everybody.
Dang.
Pickle!
There is no Chinese arrived at my house.
Pickle!
I don't believe you have chopsticks in your hand, so Pickle Jar.
I'm
feel about that.
I'm not happy about this, Pickle. Not happy about this. We will have words on next week's show.
I'm not sure. But we'll let it slide for right now because I got these orcs aren't going to paint themselves. So.
So, Mike, just for you, so you can see this bit. On this side of the head, there's like a wave which happens.
Yeah.
Yep. So, leave a gap, and then when the wave comes back up, start highlighting again. So you get hit a light bit there, and then it drops, and then you highlight again on the wavy part, effectively on the curve.
Yep.
Don't know if that's... Try to get more light on here, see if that helps.
So I've mixed together some... This is like one of my new favorite colors. I did this when I did the Kill Bill diorama, and I was like doing grayscale painting for all those minis. This intermediate blue is like the jam. I love... Yeah. I'm in love with this paint. Like, it goes on everything because it's a good highlight. It's light enough like where you don't have to... But it's just this great balance to like mix color. It's really good. I love when I mix the colors together. I'm gonna mix it together to create it for the cloak on Aragorn here. Let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, that's gonna look dope. I like that. That's gonna be cool. I definitely rushed this, and I didn't use warm water to pull my supports off of this one. So he's got it's on the cloak. There's a couple ripply points on his cloak, but that's all right. It's a cloak. Yeah. It's a cloak.
What's the printer you got?
It's a Anycubic Photon S.
Oh, okay.
It does the trick.
Yeah.
It's not the, I think it's definitely kind of like, especially now, I've had it for almost 2 years. But it's been a fun addition to the hobby collection, but it's also Luke's video from Geek Gaming Scene, and it's a while back where he talks about his love-hate relationship with 3D printing. Like,
yeah,
it is definitely a love-hate, because man, when you invest all that time and it fails, you're like, what the F? Like, hours gone.
Yeah. Well, I had the original. Well, I've still got the original Photon.
Oh, nice.
Can you
got...
Sorry.
Sorry, hang on.
I just want you to hold it as close as possible. Do I see that little...
Let's see.
Okay.
I think this is the first time in all of these sessions where instead of just having everybody tiled in the Zoom, I have officially pinned Elston. Colin and Michael are wee little things on the Zoom, and I just want to see Elston's mini. Like, yeah.
Okay. I feel privileged. Thank you.
I have not pinned you, Elston.
Okay. Okay.
Take the wind out of his sails a little bit. We can't. Oh, for sure.
Amazing. Actually, just following on from the printer conversation, Colin, I've recently got an Elegoo Saturn.
What do you think of the Elegoo?
I like the build plate a lot more because the locking mechanism is nicer.
Okay.
Whereas the I don't know if it's like on the Photon S, but all the Photon had was like one screw that went in the top, and you tightened that up to like lock the plate in place after you leveled it.
Yes.
Whereas the Elegoo has like Z or Y or X or Y axis screw. So it's got two screws. So you can lock it one way and then lock it another way.
Ooh, yes, please. See, that's probably my biggest qualm with it, and my biggest issue with failed prints is I know like that plate moves or adjusts like and and it's because moving up and down in that one point of axis to secure it by is challenging. So I don't know if I'm going to be I mean, this one, two other buddies of mine went in on the we had a Black Friday sale a couple years back, and we all spent like what, $67 a piece to buy it. And I was just like, they're like, well, I can't store it anywhere. Like, and I was like, I can store it, no problem. So it's
I'm willing to take one for the team.
I can take one for the team, but it's lived in my garage, so it's been here this entire time. But until recently, it has been one of the most underutilized pieces of equipment that I've utilized, because I was like, I needed to put more time in using it and getting used to working with it and letting it be learning the ins and outs. But the Elegoo, I'm excited to hear that you are digging the Elegoo.
Yeah, well, the build plate is 2.5 times the size of the Photon.
Nice.
So I can print off a lot of that, and it's for when you can print giants, then you start looking at it going, ooh.
I mean, that already makes me want to go, ooh, I could print giants.
Yeah, giants and dragons will become a much more real thing, whereas the Photon was kind of like, well, I can print a wing, and then I can print another wing, and then I can print a tail. Whereas the Saturn's just like, yeah, I'll do it all in one hit. And I'm like,
That does sound pretty nice.
It does sound pretty nice. It sounds slick. Yeah. I have a question about dry brushing in later stages. Do you how much dry brushing do you do later on in the paint process, Elston? Or do you not?
I tend not to now. Not with something like this.
Why? Why is that?
Dry brushing is a little bit erratic, so it gets pretty tricky to control. There's I mean, it possibly might be construed as dry brushing, but it's like kind of controlled. So it'd be like flick like that, but it would be on something like a sword, where I know I'm not going to touch anything else. Either that, if I know it's going to touch everything else, I'll make sure that's not painted yet.
Yes.
Because then I can go in and correct it afterwards. But yeah, dry brushing is an interesting thing, because more recently I've started doing more stippling, which I use with a dry brush.
Ah, okay. Talk to us about that technique here in a second too.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna try and get this green cape base color down, and then
how green are you going there, Elston?
So I'm trying to mix my reddy brown with my green as a starting point. So it's quite dark, but it's going to go up quite a lot of layers once we've done that.
Reddy brown. So the one that you've already mixed, you mix it with the green. So is that? I saw a video. I can't remember which YouTuber it was, about mother color. Have you heard of that?
Yes, yeah. Ninjon did that.
Ninjon, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. A little bit like that. I'm more doing it because it's easier for everyone to understand and go along with this, rather than me start pulling out all the hundreds of colors I've got going on here. So it kind of accidentally, is doing that, but it's more just a case of it's so if anyone wants to play along, this is kind of how they can do it without having to buy a load of paints. So the greeny brown will end up looking this kind of browny swamp-like color to start with, and then we'll highlight it up as we get on a bit.
Stream that. It's going to come up with a crazy thing, but that's okay. Let me go back to the live stream. It's going to reconnect in a second. It will be the same stream, I think. This is the first time this has happened to me, Elston, so we're going to see what happens right now. I haven't ended it. It says it's excellent connection. Starting the live stream. There it is. Okay. We should be back. I mean, it's totally whack sauce. Hi, everyone. We're back. Give me a second as I rebuild the stream live in front of you. This is what a rare opportunity you guys get to see behind the scenes when things fail and go awry. Dwayne Stanton, if you're still out there, the answer to your text message is yes. The TP-Link wired adapter failed in the middle of the stream. It is all good, though, because that's why Papa has a 100-foot Ethernet cable to run it in a moment's notice when things go awry. So, give me a second here, guys. Elston, I'm going to get your camera back up for everyone here ASAP so we can see. Let's see. But thanks for sticking with and bearing with, everyone. Yeah, you guys rock. Streaming this again. Dude. Come on, stream. I need you to work. There we go. Now it's back again. Let's see if this works. What a fun time. What a fun time. All right.
It was the best of times.
It was the best of times. It was certainly a time, that's for sure. We'll get Elston's back up here right now, and then I'll rebuild everyone. We can wait for everyone else, but Elston's the main goal.
Apparently, I'm the most sus as well. So
you are the most sus, but you also are the one as our featured guest, so we'll get you squared
I'm just
away.
saying,
yeah,
this particular problem has never happened when you weren't here.
if you use a IT analyst kind of view, which I am, the common denominator is an American live stream with Elston on it. And, yeah.
It's just science.
It's pure science.
Logic.
It's pure science. You guys are getting to see me. You're getting the behind the scenes treatment today, everyone. Boom. Now you can see Elston back up on the stream there. Yay, you're back up, buddy.
Yay.
All right. We'll add everyone else here too. How quickly this happened to me earlier in the week. This is not the first time this is not my first rodeo with stuff crashing in the middle of the stream. I had stuff go awry right before I was going live with the one-act show I was directing earlier in the week, right as we were supposed to start the countdown timer. So, old pro at it by this stage. 6 months of live streaming, this is par for the course. But I do appreciate everyone, including our amazing guest, bearing with me as we endure.
I'm having a whale of a time.
Good.
Me too, man. Script.
Good.
Boom, boom, boom.
Did you guys? You clearly finished your minis while I was away.
I started another one.
Yeah, right? I was going to say.
I'm most of the way through on my point fourth at this point. I mean, minis take what, like 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, that's all they take. Just no time at all. No time at all. No big deal.
The thing is, knowing the speed at which Daniel kind of usually works with the terrain and everything, I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not.
Have the gremlins assisted thee today?
I don't know. There are going to be finished minis when I'm done. They're not going to look like Elston minis.
I mean, I am honestly a bit surprised at how well this thing is turning out here. With these tips, everything I've been following what Elston's saying, and like all of it is working.
The only reason why a painter is good is the fact that he's learned more tricks than the other person behind him.
Do you know what it is? It's kind of like cooking, like
yeah.
In a way, because you follow a recipe. Like if you actually do what's in the recipe, it's going to taste good. Like I mean, it's
exactly that. And if you've done one recipe of like this, then in theory the logic applies to the next one a little bit like that. But you could tweak
procedure.
it.
It's yeah.
That's,
for sure.
to be fair, that's kind of all it is. I was going to show you guys like stippling and cloth stuff. So I've got to try and get my camera to focus. Let's try. Hang on a second. Let's try and do this. Switched.
Dwayne, I heart you so much. Dwayne is like, we need to adjust things after stream. We'll fix it. I love it. I 1000% love and appreciate all of the support out there, Dwayne. You are a rock star, and we will fix it. Okay, where are we at? Where are you guys? Now that I'm like back into chilling and painting, where are you guys? You guys are. What stage are you at now, Elston?
So I am just I'm locking my focus on so that it doesn't keep on shifting. So this should be a little bit easier. So I've got that greeny brown down, and I've tried to go in with another layer, and it's coming out a little bit weird still. But I wanted to do the stippling and like texture color for cloaks and stuff. This is the one I've actually been trying to like sort out, and I thought this might be the most useful. Okay. So this is the most annoying thing to do.
Okay, let's do it.
So
that is a solid way to preface it.
There you go. Right. So what we're gonna do is you see the model like this, and we're just gonna tap like that.
What color are you using there?
I'm just going with the. I've gone almost to my what was it, goblin green that you've got?
Just green skin. Yeah,
green skin. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm kind of at that stage where I'm just using green skin, but I've watered it down a bit, and then I'm just tapping. So this is kind of like stippling, but stippling is more like jabbing motion. This is a kind of more just sort of almost in a weird way a semi-dry brush, but you just want to catch all the raised edges like that, and leave all the recesses the darker color, and as you just work your way around the model, tapping like so, and once we've done that layer, we'll come in with another layer over the top that's even brighter and do the same again, but shorter area. And this gives our flat cloak the appearance of texture.
That's looking great, yeah.
I love that. That's looking mighty cool.
So, as I said, it's annoying, but it does, because you have to keep on, like, go all over it and keep on doing this, but yeah. It does make your fabrics actually look like they're fabric.
It's really cool, actually. I mean, you say it's annoying, but I'm enjoying it because, I mean, like, I like things, the things that I enjoy the most are simple techniques that are effective and you can see the effect immediately. And like, so that it's that enjoyment of like, okay, it looks like gash right now, but
yeah.
I don't even know what that word means. It was a bad word, probably.
that does have a meaning where I'm from, and
I know. Why did he even say that?
I've said worse on Chilling Wargamers. It's fine.
Back me.
To the point where we've had to take down videos because of my stupidity.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, the Christmas show got taken down.
Well, I apologize.
The Christmas show got taken down.
I love that it was the Christmas show.
I love that it was the Christmas show. The Christmas show. I mean, if you're gonna ruin family content, what better show than the Christmas show to ruin?
Yeah, there was one time I just ruined Christmas.
It doesn't, like, Luke was on the show, and every time Luke's on the show,
that's why the Christmas show got ruined.
It just goes bad. Like, yeah, Pickle and Spud can testify to that, of like me being an absolute idiot on that one. So yeah.
Spraybuck Studio says the Christmas show was carnage. Legendary.
Christmas means carnage. Christmas means carnage.
Yeah.
And Pickle Jar says that you are disgusting.
Too funny.
I
Strong
apologize.
words. Probably not unfounded.
I hang my head in shame.
You're all right. You're all right, brother. Buck up. Buck up.
It's weird. I was like you're talking about when people are born, being born in 1982. Like I'm still getting rid of a whole bunch of words from my vocabulary that are no longer socially acceptable. You know?
Yeah, I know,
Yep,
right?
yep.
You have to like, I'm like, I can't say that. I used to like, and the thing is, it's like programmed. That's what I don't think a lot of people understand. It's like it's programmed into me. Like, so this is harder than it seems.
Well, it's. I mean, well, anyway, this is the.
Yeah,
Whenever
I know. Skirt around the topic slightly, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not. I mean, yeah. Just stop talking, Mike.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you are trying to make these adjustments and definitely be more conscious of what you're saying. I think that's all of us. That's all of us.
Yeah.
That's all of it. Nothing wrong with that.
Definitely.
Nothing wrong with that.
And it's hard.
Yep.
But the effort is the important thing.
Yeah. It does, like, sometimes we slip up, and it's not intentional. It's just, as I said, programmed.
Well, it's harder than it seems. Elston in 2021. Oh my gosh. I see.
Loving these little highlights.
That would be an exact instance of the innuendo that I've been avoiding bringing up into the chat thus far.
Yeah.
This is a litany of those throughout the chat. So, yeah.
It does seem like the channel Wargamers have descended on
on Crazy Crafter. That's okay. Yeah, descend away, boys. Descend away. We're happy to have you.
Like the sort of
okay, descend away, boys. Is also
rough phrasing. Is that a thing that I just messed that up? Oh no! Oh no! So you just tap it, Elston, for that edging there?
Yeah. So what you do is, have a look at this. Just kind of like tap it and like bring it down. Got to be a little bit careful with like how much liquid's on the brush at this point in time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think I have a little too much liquid on mine.
Yeah, because otherwise you just an instant puddle and you're like, oh, didn't mean to do that.
What color did you do have you done your trousers yet?
They got like a knee showing. I've kind of left them the leather brown at the moment. I think I'm going to revisit them at some point because I'm not entirely sure.
I think it might just look like a dark umbery brown kind of color.
Yeah, I'm thinking something similar, just to like not really draw much attention to them, because as I said, there's pretty much just a knee there. So, and if you do want to dive on top of the little texture things, you can add white to it and go again and just make it in a smaller area, and that's what I'm doing right now, is just adding even smaller areas, and it just creates almost like an edge highlight, but like a textured edge highlight. So can you actually see that showing up okay?
Yeah.
Let's just see.
I'm actually impressed this camera's doing its job.
What color is it? You're again, this is just the green.
So yeah, so this is green, but this is like a third stage of adding white to it. So I've done one layer of green, just with the flicker motion. Then I did the second one, and this is the third. So this is where it's really starting to like, you start seeing a lot more texture coming out on it, and yeah, pop out.
Okay, cool. I am going to do the same.
So if it goes too bright, all we do is just put a wash over it, and then that'll bring it back down.
Well, that tapping technique makes a huge difference, Elston. I really like that. That
Cool.
helps me a lot. I like that.
So that's the kind of same element of stippling. Stippling is basically you just tap on paint.
Yep.
And eventually they end up sort of merging with each other. So if you looked at it in a microscope, it looked horrible, but
right.
Take it further away, and you're like, oh, okay, it's texture. It's all about tricking your eye into thinking something when it's not actually there. So I feel bad that we've gone from innuendos to silence again. So
No.
just filling the void here with chat.
We're doing great.
I'm trying to read through the chat to see if there's anything I'm allowed to say.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's a good group out there. I like these folks. They're fun.
Yes.
If you haven't done so already, please make your way over to the Share Your Work on the Crazy Crafter Discord. If you are not a member of the Crazy Crafter Discord, you should 100% subscribe and find yourself. There should be a link below in the description. We can link it in the chat there for you too, and I'll put it up there momentarily. But throw your work up there. We'll review some of your works in progress from this last week. And in addition to that, if you find yourself new to the channel and you have not done so, please subscribe. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification for the Crazy Crafter live stream so you can not miss out on all my streams crashing on me when Elston comes on. These are important. These are important things that you don't want to miss and be here for. So much has happened today. But in addition to that, like the video, and after the stream is posted, comment on the video below. That helps other folks find their way to this wonderful community, and it would greatly help support the channel.
So, are you guys ready to move on to doing some skin?
Do it.
I kind of went ahead.
Have you already done your skin?
I did my face early on, but like do it anyway because.
Okay.
You know.
So I'm mixing a blue and a red here to get a kind of purple, and then I'm going to mix this with some of my skin tone so that I've got a darker one. So I'm going on the basis here that I'm not using like a skin wash here. What I would normally do is put skin color down and do a purple wash over it. But in this case, I'm just going to try and start from purple and go up. So it's this kind of purpley pinky mess, and we just paint that all over everything.
Sonder, yes, you guys are always fun. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Just when we start getting those let's say like when we get the chilling wargamers around, it goes from fun to wild.
Yeah.
We have that effect. It's not intentional, it's just naturally how we are, and I do apologize anyone.
I see nothing to apologize for.
We just end up causing chaos wherever we go.
You say chaos, I say
potato.
Yeah. I say potato.
So, do you know some of the keys about how to do faces?
Not a clue.
Right, okay.
Lay it on us.
Right, so there's a couple of points that you want to focus on with faces. Your eyebrows, or like more importantly, the ridge of your eyebrows, because I know some people have their eyebrows way into their forehead these days, which is not how we're going to do it. So the ridge of your eyebrows, your nose, your cheekbones, and then your chin are the main areas to kind of put focus on for beginners. If you're doing like more pro stuff, then there's a whole different science behind it. But those are the areas you mainly want to get kind of color on. So if you avoid everything else, if you're not feeling comfortable with painting like thin lines like underneath the nose and the lip, just avoid it and just paint those areas, and that will give you your kind of just standard definition.
Okay, so how can I rescue what I've done then? Which is
show me.
How can I rescue it? Oh no.
Well, I mean, basically, I just painted. I did the same thing that I did with my blacksmith the other night, which is just to use barbarian flesh.
Right, gotcha. And then do a wash over it.
Well, that's kind of where I was going with it. But like now I've got. Let's see, can I get this? Might not be
Okay,
right.
yeah. See it. So is it looking a little bit flat? So it's all kind of.
It is looking a little bit flat.
So is the Barbarian Wash? Is that taken?
I haven't done the wash yet. I've got a
okay.
What's it called? Sent. Oh, by the way, everything that I'm using here was sent to me by Colin, who's an absolute legend. He's been telling me I need to get mini painting for edges and edges, and then he just sent me all of the stuff, and he says, right, the time is now. So Colin is an absolute legend for sending me all this shit. Now I have to send him something.
You sound so thrilled right now.
But I mean,
absolute
piss off, mother.
So I would apply the wash and let it settle, and then just don't worry about, because I'm going in with a bit more of an advanced thing by going purple and then highlighting up points and stuff like that. So
and that just sort of replicates the undertone, like the capillary stuff and like the
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you went like full like super pro at it, you'd start adding greens and stuff in there because the skin's got a natural green tone underneath it.
Yeah,
which is like a weird thing which you never really think of until you look at your skin and you're like, oh, yeah, I can kind of see a little bit of green in there.
Reichland, what's it called? I was going to say Reichland Flesh Shade from Citadel.
Yep, that's a winner.
Yes, it is.
Cool. That's what I'm going to do then.
I personally like using Drucci Violet. So if you get
Violet,
because that creates that's a bit like your flesh wash, but it creates a darker one. So it can sort of focus the eyes in a bit more and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, everyone that might be painting along, or you guys that are painting this, I would straight up not paint the eyes on this mini. They are far too small. Like,
I like that.
If you could,
I won't paint
music to Colin's ears.
I love it. Not painting it.
I would maybe just put like a little bit of a wash or something in there just to kind of highlight, like sort of make the shadow there. But yeah, I would not bother because nah.
Cool. Going to take your advice.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings minis are they do seem to have this. I think it's because they're actual like proper scale, whereas Warhammer and I think a lot of D&D are like this heroic scale.
Yeah, they do emphasize some stuff a little bit more. It's not quite proportional, that's for sure.
Yeah, so like the hands are massive and heads are like either bigger than they should be and stuff like that.
Even on the front of the box here, if you look at the Gandalf, like, and I'm assuming whoever painted this is like a professional painter, and he just looks stoned, man.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was the finest weed in the farthing or whatever.
So all I do though after that point with the hands and the face and everything, I've just add a little bit of white to the skin tone. I'm just picking points, like as I said, like point of the nose, just tiny bits of the eyebrows, cheeks, and that's it. And just literally like just a dab of paint on it. I think I'm gonna as well try and put a little bit of stubble in there if I can.
Oh, cool. How are you doing that?
So with that is probably the simplest. Warhammer TV did this, and it's the simplest, easiest thing. Is either get some black or dark brown or whatever color you want. Just add lots and lots of water to it, and then just paint it on the areas where you want there to be stubble.
Cool.
And it's because it's so translucent, you'll still get the skin tone, but it'll be around their area. Will be
5 o'clock shadow.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep, I put that on a couple of my minis, and it really elevates it. Like,
yeah, it just makes them look realistic. instead of baby faced.
How do you highlight the hair again, Elston? What do you do
So
to
you
highlight the hair?
So you do it in a halo. So can you see this here?
Let me see it. Let me shift here. I remember you saying the halo. Oh yeah. I see it.
Yeah, right. So what I did is I picked a point and I just worked my way around.
Mm-hmm.
So you leave the top of the head black, and then do this halo around it of just doing like darker gray, slightly lighter gray, and then a white, and just like you did with the cloak, it's just do that little small flicking motion. And then yeah, that's
okay.
all there is to it. I think I'm going to wash that cloak back down again. Because, we were saying about doing all the small stripes and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can come out a little bit too sharp and sort of distract or like ruin the illusion. And all I do at that point is just come back in with a wash.
Okay.
And just wash over it. Well, I say wash, it's more like a glaze. Do you guys know the difference between washes and glazes?
No.
Nope. Right. So a wash, you pretty much pile on. So it's like you get puddles, you get recesses, and stuff like that will happen. A glaze is not that. A glaze is you are putting a very thin layer of paint over that, and you're effectively just tinting the color rather than letting the wash create new colors and stuff like that.
Okay.
Here's a great question. Night Train, I appreciate this one so much because I have struggled to make this look even close to appropriate. Any tips on painting dark-skinned figures?
Oh, that's an interesting one because you can go a few different ways with that. Blue can be your highlight. That if you do that, you verge more towards like a charcoal kind of, a kind of fantasy-esque sort of thing. If you go the blue route, I would say mix in purple with black, and then use a combination of purples and browns mixed in with the blacks, but only go for the highest points. Don't try and blend, like if you had a pectoral or like a sort of half naked man, effectively, don't go for like highlighting or coloring the whole pectorals. If you would just highlight the top edges of them, and then it gives the illusion of the color there. So start with a black, then use your black, purple, browny kind of mix, and then after that point, highlights just at the very tops of things. It's not something I've perfected myself, so that's just what I've tried in the past, and it comes out okay. But I'm sure there's some other people out there that have got like a few other ideas.
Great question.
Yeah.
Really good question.
I forgot to paint the boots.
Ah.
I forgot the boots, but they're painted now. They're just not highlighted. Everything else on this guy is highlighted. Here you go. Here you go, Elston and gang. Like he's.
Oh, nice.
He's coming. He's coming. I'm still working on that stippling effect, but I definitely felt like I got a little bit better on highlighting the edges of the robe and stuff in here. Like the vest. It's definitely much better because I always dry brushed my minis, Elston, and
okay, and
like it sometimes it works really well, but like you said, it's inconsistent with your ability to, you gotta get it's a little harder. It's a little harder to bring those highlights out. So.
I mean, like dry brushing would have worked fine with your crazy 88s.
Yes, which is what I did.
They're all monotone.
That's exactly what I did with very select few points of like hit the arms, hit that like any high point on the mini, wham, bam, bam. Like the whole thing was because I spent like 10 minutes a mini, and I was like, if I do that, I'm never gonna finish this. So I was like, I need to do this mini in 2 minutes. Like I need to be done with the highlights in 2 minutes, and that was a quick dry brush and then just a little bit of edging.
Yeah. So
I wish I'd have had that stippling effect. I wish I'd have known that, because then those would have looked even better if I'd only known that a few weeks ago. But I know going forward.
So I'm getting into like the tidy up stages now, where I'm sort of focusing on details and bits and bobs and cleaning things up. There's one thing I was gonna venture into, and whether or not you want to try this is you ever heard of a technique called non-metallic metal?
No.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Right. Okay. So
I watched. What's that heavy metal painter guy called?
Is it Darren Latham?
No. He's got long hair and he's
Sam
got
Lens?
Sam Lens. That's one.
Sam Lens. Yeah. He's. This is kind of like a very beginner version of it. What it is, Colin, is effectively you're going to replicate the illusion of metallics without actually using any metallics.
Ooh.
So it can be a pain. It's usually quite a long-winded thing, but we're going for quite quick and blunt here, so we could probably pull this off pretty easily. I'll try and keep everyone in kind of check of what I'm doing here. So just starting with a black, and then we pick our points of highlight. So we say maybe there and maybe there, and then usually get a kind of opposite reflection on the other side. But everyone that knows how to do non-metallic metal, this, as I said, this is the rough and ready version. So yeah, don't shoot my head off. I know I'm not doing it exactly right, but then what we do is pick a point. Do a little bit of heard the term wet blending?
Nice.
Yep.
So that's all we're doing is we just smudge it into.
Can you hold it up a little bit? There you
Like
go.
that.
There you go. Yep.
So we're just going to try and smudge the white in to the dark and create gradients. But it takes a little bit of backwards and forwards, so there's not like an instant. It's not like the other technique we can do with a flicking motion and that creates it. This one you do have to kind of work at it a little bit and kind of smush it into each other until you get it right. It involves a lot of washing your brush and coming back in.
Coming back into it.
Yeah.
It's coming together though. I like that.
So, and then if you've gone too much like that, you blend it, just try and push it out a little bit. Then back in with a bit more. Yeah, you basically just work at that for a little bit. Obviously, for beginners, I wouldn't really suggest it, but I thought I'd show you something kind of interesting.
I'm gonna use the metallics here.
Okay, that's
in a
fair
second.
enough.
And yeah, I'll ask your advice on that in a second once I'm there.
Okie dokie.
Because I've got a selection of different metallics here, and
Okay.
which would be the most sword-like, realistic sword-like kind of one to go for.
Usually I do a little bit of a blend with metallics, so start with the darker one and then work my way up. But
okay, we'll try that.
Yeah, if you've got something like gunmetal's usually the starting point, but I usually mix a little bit of black in with gunmetal.
Okay.
And then just start going up and up until you get to silver. And then if you can, get hold of some white metal, which is some paint ranges have, it's like white metallic. And if you can get that, that's the highlight to silver. If you can't get that, then... also as well, another thing for everyone that's following along, a thing is with non-metallic metals, it doesn't look quite right until you do like an edge highlight. And then as soon as you do an edge highlight, you start seeing that kind of reflection of the blade. But
sorry, jumping back a step.
Yeah.
How watery do you want the 5 o'clock shadow?
I'd probably say 4 to 5 parts water to 1 part paint. So pretty translucent-y. Again, I feel bad. Everyone's gone quiet.
No, we're in
the mind palace.
I'm looking. I got a sneak peek. I went over to Discord and was looking at the works in progress and all the work that everyone's sharing, and I was like, oh, blown away. And I went down that rabbit hole. In addition to watching you teach me a new paint technique with how to make the metallic effect, which is super rad. And now I'm gonna do one last thing because it looks like folks are still dumping a few photos of works in progress, but a couple of things. My base is dry. I got my base ready to go. So here's my base, everyone. I ended up throwing. So the texture paint, the technical paint. I ended up not. I covered most of that up, but of course I did. But here's the base. I put some PVA and a couple of tufts down, so that's looking pretty good. That'll be a neat little base. And I'm just going to highlight the boots here real quick, and then we're going to head on over and take a look at some of this awesome work. What happened?
Something
way too much paint in there, and it just went. It just spread out into.
Do you know how to fix it?
Nope.
You have to be quick. Basically, like rinse, get your brush, dunk it in your water pot, and then basically get as much water on that part of the model as you can. You effectively dilute the paint. Then once the water's on there, smush it around a bit so the paint comes loose. Dry your brush off and then stick it back on and start soaking up the water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then you can kind of save things if you do it that way.
Save it, can.
That is indeed working.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knows what he's talking about.
Almost.
What he's just admitted to is making a bunch of mistakes, and that he has saved many a mistake, and that's...
Yes.
That's the key.
Yep.
Just learn from it. Okay. I'm gluing him. I'm gluing my dude down. He's ready.
Bold decision making. That's what we like here.
He's
decisive action.
I'm gonna call this guy. He's ready for the tabletop here. I know he is. I feel it in my bones. Okay. All right. It's a lot of super glue I just put on there.
Watch out for the phone.
Oh, that's the wrong host you're talking to there.
I know. I'm using Michael as a cautionary tale.
Okay.
I'm never going to live it down.
Nope, you should not have shared that information today.
Not as long as I exist, Michael.
Oh, bollocks. Moved him around. This guy's going to take a second to adhere.
Yeah, man.
I'm currently going over all of the don't look at that spots where I realize I didn't put enough paint on something and it's super deep down and I just kind of make it really, really dark. Like they ignore that spot.
That's a good... There's nothing wrong with that. All right, he's drying. He's drying down here. He's super glued, but he's got to dry. I repositioned.
Let's check out the community posts.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna move on over here and we're gonna check these out. Elston, I don't know if if you haven't joined the Discord, you'll have to post in there too, because I'm always like I see your guys' work, from the Chilling Wargamers and the Pickle Jar, but you post over here too.
I joined the other day. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm not that proficient with Discord at the moment, but yes, I will.
Hey, welcome to the club. Okay, let's head on over to the Discord.
Feeling very cold out right now.
What are you talking about? That's like all of us.
I'm the least proficient.
You are not.
I hide from the Discord.
Don't hide from the Discord.
What color would you do the hilt of your sword?
Have you got a gold?
Yep.
All right, go with the gold. Then, if you can, use a wash of either brown or red on it, and then put some more gold on it.
So, there's a question here in the chat. I don't know if you've hit this one up yet, Elston, but
I missed it.
That's okay. No worries. We're all crafting and painting, brother. At Elston, can you do the foam metal method and add a light metallic wash to it? Is the question from Night Terrain.
Oh, right, okay. I've tried that in the past. The issue that does occur with that is metal is reflective in its own right. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing when you're painting a mini and when you're doing non-metallic metal is you are emulating a photograph. Mm-hmm. So a still point in a certain period in time where the light has hit it from a certain point in angle. Metal reacts to light as metal does. So as you move the model around, the light will change on it, and it will move the highlights to different areas. Mm-hmm. Whereas non-metallic metal is designed of he was in this position with the sun coming from this way, and therefore the light reflected like this. Whereas if you put metal to it, the light might start bouncing off different ways, and it might start looking a bit weird. You can try it, but give it a go. See what. I've tried it once in the past. It didn't come out that great, but other people may come up with better results than I do.
Okay, excellent. Mm-hmm. There you go, Night Terrain. Let us know if that answers your question there, brother. Sonder has yay, it's back. I'm in the bath. Oh my goodness. Thanks, bud. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us.
If you're still with us, Violet, this is why we don't do the live chat with the audience. This is why
we don't do the live chat with the audience. Sonder is asking, so we talked about dark skin. How about pale skin? With like, what about with was this the highlighting of a lighter skin tone, I believe is the question?
Yeah, yep. Okay. So with pale skin, you usually want to go with a bit like you did with dark, because you go for a different undertone. And that allows you to highlight up. So I found with paler skin, it depends if you're going for, because we live in the fantasy world of things, you can go vampiric, and vampiric is like a dead pale skin. So I would aim more towards a gray undertone. Okay. Less kind of color and stuff like that. If you're talking like really bright alabaster elf style things, then I just don't start with such a dark undertone. Maybe start with your standard skin tone as the baseline, and then work up from there. Start mixing. I would try to avoid using white as your highlight. I would use like an off-white, like ivory, or even like ivory and yellow mixed together.
Oh, nice.
And see how that kind of comes out, because I think that would be kind of an interesting mix. So yeah, just don't. I mean, you can go white. It's just you start looking very ghost-like if you go full white. So, yeah.
Okay, there you go, Sonder. Yeah. There's again, this is a good. Keep the questions coming. As long as we've got Elston on here, now is a good time to pick him on here. It'll certainly be the last time, because he's crashed my American stream. So soak it up now, everyone. Soak it up now, because he's never coming back. Just kidding. He's absolutely coming back. He won't be able to get away from us. I'm gonna shift over here. I'm gonna chat a little bit about the Discord. We've got the first picture up here. I'm working backwards today. Amy Root, who is a new member of the Tabletop Crafters Guild on Facebook, who has just started I don't want to mess it up. The Mouseketeer Armory. Is it Mouseketeer Armory, everyone? Okay. I think it's Mouseketeer Armory. Mouseketeer Forge. Sorry. That's why I wanted to look it up. The Mouseketeer Forge on Instagram. Amy is making these awesome tiny swords. Definitely, these swords inspired my my latest diorama from the Duelist, trying to make my own swords instead of letting them be printed. And she's wire wrapping the handles and stuff. Elston, they're absolutely they're just nuts. She's gonna come on the stream beginning of April and show us how to make them. So
cool.
So that'll be a cool one. And she's got it positioned here next to an awesome mini, a little pirate mini here for scale. They're looking really good. That's a really good scale for that mini root. That's gonna look good. Can't wait to see when you paint that miniature too. That's gonna be amazing.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Only there was a place where you could spend a couple hours getting a bunch of painting tips.
Yeah, if only. If only. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say that his camera is out of focus there.
Hang on, that might just be because I was holding up. I'm doing some base work, so I was like, yeah.
And what is the base work you're doing?
I'm cheating. I'm using AK Interactive Muddy Ground. So hang on, there it is. It's just like a paste. Sorry, carry on, Colin. Apologies.
No worries. I'm typing in the chat. Everyone should follow. It's up there. Instagram, and Root put it up in the chat too. Follow Instagram. Follow Mouseketeer Forge on Instagram. Por favor, for all your teeny tiny sort of action. Now here's one from Rich from Splayback Studios. I don't know what this is. This Necron? This may be a Necron. I don't know if this one is a Necron. Is it a Necron? Okay, cool. See, y'all are teaching me. I'm learning. I remember. I know I can spot Necrons because when Pickle Jar was on here, we built some Necron scatter terrain. So that looks amazing. I love all the green in there, Rich. That looks super cool. The detail on the metal on the breastplate here of the Necron is dope. That's cool. Now, was this a texture base, Rich? Was this a technical paint that you put? What'd you do for the base here? Because that looks really good. I really like that. It's got like this like Terminator 2 post-apocalyptic Judgment Day, tattered, like scorched earth look to it. It's really cool.
That looks awesome.
That looks dope. Now, I don't know. This looks like a Space Marine of some sort without a helmet. This next
one catch up.
Is it a red one?
It is a red one.
Yeah, it's a Blood Angel.
Yeah,
Blood Angel. That looks absolutely amazing. Of course, it's got blood all over its sword there. That looks wonderful. I love that matte. Kind of the different layers of the armor there, where it's a little bit more matte underneath, and the top side's a little shinier. Yes.
Can you full screen your thing so that people can see it better on YouTube? Or
I would have to full screen it for everyone. It would get rid of us, but I could.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Right,
we're just dudes painting the thing. We want to see these.
We're gonna do it.
People.
We're gonna do it. Let me do this real quick.
Now, is that I can't remember the Blood Angels. Is that like do they call them a sanguinary guard? Is that what we're dealing with? Is that?
I don't think that one is, because that's off Rich's latest video on doing Grimdark. I think that one's just a Blood Angel. Sanguinary guards are usually like all gold.
Oh, because he doesn't have the jump pack. That's just the.
No, yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
So right now it's small. I want that thing full screen. So
hold on, it's coming. Good suggestion, boys. Good suggestion.
Oh, Michael, he's the hero here.
He's the hero.
I'm here every week, guys.
Here every week.
But I didn't appreciate you before, Michael. That's what I'm getting at.
All right, here we go. Transitioning over. Boom. There we go. Now we can see all the glory that is.
Assault Intercessor.
Nice. Yep. And what did he put in the? Did he talk about the bases at all?
It's from the Geek Gaming Scenic base range. Base ready range.
Of course it is. That's why it looks so good, because that stuff is Luke's base ready stuff is solid. It's on my wish list. It's on my wish list to get some Geek Gaming product over here. I wish we had it closer by.
Yeah, I think he does have distributors in America.
He does. Yeah. I gotta go through them. I just wish it was at my local. I wish I could drive 20 minutes and get it. That's what I want. I want that. This looks absolutely amazing, Rich. I love. Let's go back to the Necron and check out the Necron real quick for everyone to see it full screen too. Simply remarkable. Necron action. Super dope.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. Well done. Who's this? Pickle Jar? Yeah, we don't need to see that. We'll just keep going. No. We're gonna look at. I saw
highlight good work here.
We're looking at this. I love.
Oh, what is this thing? No, go back to that. What? Yeah. Sorry, I'm behind.
Oh yeah, I was just kidding. We're totally gonna look at them. This is rad.
Where does that model come from?
I don't know. Do you know Elston?
Is this the bird thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Rockabo Knight. That's our friend Dan from Lion Tower Miniatures is he's doing a Kickstarter for those pretty soon.
Nice.
If you're on his Patreon, you get one of those in the welcome pack as the STL file.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So, and will there be additional like builds for that or like different?
Yep. There's 3 different birds at the moment, possibly maybe 5.
Link in the chat. My favorite video game, or at least top 3, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Nice. Yeah. That Dan, who is the sculptor of this, is big into his Final Fantasy. So he's currently sculpting an Ifrit model.
Oh yeah.
So
just the opening cinematic for Final Fantasy Tactics is just a bunch of knights riding their chocobos or kokobos, however people decide to pronounce it, and I want that in my life.
Yep. So these are, for technical terms, rockabos, but yes.
Sure, yeah. We can't.
This looks absolutely fantastic, Pickle.
IP is real. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, actually, hang on a second. On my screen, you might be able to see some that I'm working on.
Yeah.
Ooh, love it. Love that, Elston.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll. I saw you posted down there, Pickle. You got your Aragorn. We'll scroll down and take a look at him in a second too. What is this one from? This one's awesome. I love this one. This is the next mini from Pickle Jar, his latest work. It's like riding it's like all these like skulls or spirits that are being summoned, like riding. It's like surfing spirits is what it looks like here.
Yeah. Do you remember like there used to be like a lot of like rat fink stuff for like the hot rods and stuff? Yes. Like that's what this reminds me of.
That's what this reminds me of. This looks awesome. I love
the Crazy Orc guy. Is
that
that? Yeah. So again, another Alex, who was on the Chill and Wargamers on Thursday, sculpts these. This is from a company called Wartblock Miniatures, from a game called Arkworld, which has a very similar resemblance to a certain Terry Pratchett novel series. There is a Kickstarter running for these at the present moment in time. So Pickle, if you're in the chat, could links or whatever, and so that's Pickle, I believe, he's got Alex on his show on Wednesday. So if you want to see more of him, Wednesday at the Pickle Jar.
Love it.
Nice. That'll be fun. We'll definitely have to check that out. I'm just saying bye to Night Terrain. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Thanks for hanging out today. We're running a little longer because stream crashed and we wanted to finish some minis.
I'm having a blast.
Me too. This is fantastic. Let's scroll down real quick and check out his Aragorn. Let's see. Ooh, fancy! I like this Aragorn. I love the colors that he's working on in here.
Yeah,
these are fantastic. He's got the hair, like, I love the highlight on the hair here, too. Mm-hmm. That, like, that stipple technique for the edge highlighting, I see it in at play here that he's working on for Aragorn here. That's looking great, brother. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for painting some Lord of the Rings miniatures along with us. Super cool. Super cool. All right, scrolling on up. Oh, there it is. He shared his Chinese food with everyone.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, bud. That looks good. That looks tasty. Oh my gosh. Here's Moria. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start. Let's start here. Oh my gosh. Tina Martins made a Moria. I mean, you know how you get like these like this reminds me of like the ultimate play set that I wanted like as a kid. Like they had the Jurassic Park like visitor center with all the different stuff. This is like what this reminds me of. I just want to play on this. I just want to like move minis around and like play on it. This looks absolutely gorgeous, Tina. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's like if everybody has like a little nickname, it should be like Tina Beast Mode Martins. Like
Tina Beast Mode Martins.
Like nobody goes as hard as Tina. Like she just like it's ridiculous.
The amount of time that she does stuff in as well is just ridiculous.
I really love the lava, the light effect over here on the right side. I love the texture of the rock here, in which there's different rock texture from going outside to inside the interior. Like it's an insane amount of detail. These columns that she's got going on. And it lights up too. So of course it does. Because Tina is beast mode. # love that beast. Tina.
He is an absolute monster when it comes to terrain stuff.
She is. Yeah. She's amazing, and she's just a wealth of knowledge. Elston, we had her on last week. She's just she's got so many wonderful tips and tools that I wouldn't have normally thought of using before, and how she's so creative in her experience, and the ability for her to see a new technique, absorb it, and then she just does a great job of just like everyone else in the hobby that really produces rich work. There's all sorts of things that you've picked up along the way that are being showcased in every build, and it's just lovely work, Tina. Oh my gosh. Let's look at one more here. Boom. There it is. Ah! These columns are so good. And then these archways. Bravo, Tina. How long have you been working on Moria now? It's been a minute. It's been a while. It's been a while since working on Moria.
Like a couple hours, probably.
A couple hours. All right. This is Jamatra. Jamatra, this is Pulp Atelier with his latest build. Like this build is amazing. Amazing. It's still work in progress, but all of the XPS and woodwork combining the different textures that you've got going on here are just phenomenal. This is how I wish I could build my building terrains. This is what I'm aspiring to do in the next, when I take my terrain, my houses at least, to the next level. Like I love this build. This looks amazing. So good. So good. All right, we're gonna move up to Sonder here, dude. This is amazing. I love this. Pictured with some of his recent scattered terrain.
Oh, is this the lich that I saw getting worked on?
Yeah, this is super cool. I love the colors in here, Sonder. These are so fun.
I think that's an Age of Sigmar model, isn't it?
Is it?
That's
it
been
might
converted. Be. I think it is.
It might be.
Might be wrong.
Is it? Sonder, you have to let us know down there in the chat.
Might be wrong. I think it is, but yeah. It looks awesome either way. Wow.
So cool.
Yeah, that is
so cool. Oh, the backside here, we get to see the back end of it a little bit. I love this. Oh, yeah, the fading down into, like, kind of that tattered, almost iridescent spirit kind of glow, a little bit of glow to it. And
Sonder has confirmed it is Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar. Yeah. Oh, okay. Fantastic. One more in the dark picture here. This looks so good, Sonder. Congratulations. Love this one. That's going to be a cool piece. Kill all your players with it. It'll be fun.
They have it coming.
They do have it. They had it coming. They had it coming, folks. Well done, brother. Well done. Scrolling on up, is this here's another shot from Dramatra's build. I think this is a little bit earlier before he added on kind of the what is it called? It's not an awning, but it's kind of just the front cover. Looked like he was adding on the door and stuff down here, but this is a before shot. I love just his cardboard. Man, cardboard, the combining the use of different materials in terrain is going to be awesome. Like, I really dig that. So, looking at this piece reminded me of something that you mentioned recently in one of the live stream chats, Elston, and you are slowly thinking about trying to build some terrain. What terrain? What are you thinking about building? What do you want to build?
I am already a fair bit ahead into my diorama. Have you seen that?
I have not seen it. I want to see that.
Okay. I've just finished Aragorn, so I shall reset my camera up. If you want to carry on looking,
I will. We'll keep going. We'll keep going here.
Yeah.
Well done, Jamatra. This is just amazing. It's looking so good. More swords from Amy Root from the Musketeer Forge. This one's got silver, black, and gold wire wrapping on the handle. Dear Lord, did you put a button? You put a button on that pommel too. Look at that. There's a little button where the tang runs through down there, and you peen it.
She peened the.
She didn't. She put a button on the end of it for that added detail. Yes, love it.
Beast.
Love it. Well done, Amy. I like that. Or at least, was it peened? It looked peened. Yeah.
I have no idea what that means. So this conversation is very strange right now.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what peened means.
I will show you an example. I'll pull a sword out behind me and I'll explain.
Yeah. So the tang goes all the way through the handle, and there are a couple ways of ending the pommel and keeping everything together.
Yep.
And the most traditional and one of the sturdiest ways of doing that is to just heat the end of the tang and hammer it down so it forces its way onto the end of the pommel and can't back off.
Right. Okay.
In modern construction, we do a lot of threading and stuff, but that wasn't really an option for machining in the early days. And so, the most traditional and frankly one of the if you're getting a really good sword, it's probably peened. To fit that tang onto the pommel.
It looks absolutely amazing, Root. I love that detail. And then the last one will end the day, or not the end day. I think if you got more stuff, let me know, because I can always come back to the Discord real quick. I know Pickle was saying he wanted to throw up. He's finished up Aragorn. He wants to take a nice shot, put it up there. But I've got my latest diorama from Ridley Scott's 1977 film, The Duelists, is completed.
It's such a great fight too.
Yeah,
I love that fight.
It's a fun one.
That's cool.
This is a fun one. Again, this is where I started experimenting. So, Elston, if you go down to the second, well, you can look at either the first or the second shot here, but the braids on the mini with the, like, those are green stuffed. I like sculpted those and like put his braids on there because he had like longer braids in the movie. His sword is green stuffed with a safety pin. So like I had a lot of fun. Wow. I had a lot of fun with this one. This one I was gonna add like more elements of the terrain, but I kind of just liked the simplicity of just the open field that they were fighting in and putting the focus on these guys. I had a fun time with this one. So
that's really cool.
Thank you all for your help with that. Okay, let us come back to us over here, and then we're gonna check out. What do you got? What is this? What do you
Elston
got
and
there?
the monster.
What do you have?
Like, I'm gonna dabble into some terrain.
I'm gonna dabble in terrain. Whatever. Dabbling into terrain. Oh my god.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to detach the camera for a second and give you a bit of a roundabout tour.
I love it.
Cool, man.
Take us on a trip. Take us on a journey, bro.
All right. So, hang on. I lost it. Hang on. I lost the camera. Hang on.
Oh, did you move it?
Cable should not be moved.
Nope. I know that.
Yep.
I've been there. I've been there.
It is just a product of the stream today. This is how we roll today.
Yep. Hang on. Let's just see. Oh.
It's gonna shift everyone around.
Yeah,
It's gonna shift everyone around. I love it. So now,
I'm on Elston's camera.
You're on Elston's camera. Danny's on Michael's camera, and you're about to be a gremlin when you come back. It's gonna be amazing.
Wonderful. Right. Well, I've got to switch back to me just for a moment because I don't know what's happened with.
Oh, you're perfect. You're fine.
Yeah, this camera is the one that should be doing its work, but let's just see. Let's try switching again. Gonna work. No. Oh no! Just as I wanted it to work, the cable looks like it's gone kaput.
That's all right. We know who to blame. We know who to blame for it all.
It's always me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, guys. I do apologize.
No worries.
Technology and all that jazz.
Please, that's the joy of live streaming.
Yes. Hang on a sec. I'll tell you what. I'll try one more trick.
Amy says she blames you too. Amy also says she glued a very small bead to the end to make the pommel, but pushed it down past flush so it has the look of being tapped. Dope. That's so cool. I can't wait to see more details getting added to those teeny tiny swords. Even Elsa's camera is sus.
Hey, it's working.
Hey, there it is. It's back. Yay!
It's back. Right, cool. All right, it's working. So let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on. So, the idea is Dragon lives in this cave. Dragon has come outside. It's like an old fortress. Let's see if we can get some proper light going on here. So there's like an old brick fortress, and it's kind of like on the side of a cave wall.
Oh my gosh.
But it's going to have like a load of little dwarfs that are all around here, and I'm going to see if I can get one of them, because these dwarfs are amazing, because... let's just turn on this light as well, and boost that up a bit. Because they have dwarfs that ride capybaras.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Those are so cool.
I am so happy that the world
adorable.
exists sometimes, right? Like, why? Yes, of course. Somebody's modeled capybara riding dwarves. Somebody is doing it right. I love this stuff.
There is also, I tried my hand at doing some resin. Let's see if we can turn that up a bit. So there is a goblin frozen in resin, supposed to be ice, in there. And the last little thing, there's a little goblin. And the last little thing is I tried my hand at LEDs as well. So
balls to the wall, Elston. Way
to
get
dabble.
It. Yeah,
so
yeah.
He has a glowing foot, and his eyes and his mouth kind of glow up.
That's cool.
That the surfing weird orc dude from Wartblock. This comes from Wartblock as well. The owner's dad is the caster, and I asked him if he could cast up this part of the dragon in clear resin for me.
Oh wow.
So this is all clear resin. So there's a cable which runs all the way from back here.
Oh my gosh.
Underneath all of this lot, up through the foot into an LED, and then another LED drill, and so to like drill in there, up there, and there's an LED up there and down there, and then So
Elston, this is just another stream in itself right here. This diorama, like good lord.
Yeah, there's a video coming about this at some point. It's first time doing crafting videos, and I'm kind of
cool, man.
Kind of confused about it all, but
so lovely, Elston. I love that. It looks great. It looks really good, brother.
Really good.
I'm glad you're dabbling. It's fun. It's fun to add the elements. Like when you start combining all, the terrain and the miniatures together, even with just some small, simple stuff like that, that is not a simple build by any means. But look how much that just adds so much. If you throw that on the table and have an encounter in that space, that's a cool. Yeah. It's just it adds to the D&D and war, like all the war. It's all an event. It's a theatrical event that takes place, and it's just amazing. I love adding all those elements. Your snow effect looks really good too.
Thanks. This is the second time the snow went on. The first time it turned yellow. And
don't eat the yellow snow.
Don't eat the yellow stuff.
I'd also learned as well is I'm not going to make it out of such thick wood because this thing weighs a ton.
Oh yeah, some weight to it.
Yeah, it's
he's lift with your legs, lift with the legs, Elston. Lift with the legs.
The legs are. I'm sitting down, so I can only lift with my back.
Well, let's see. Let's pop back over to the Discord real quick and take a look at Aragon. Oh my goodness, the Discord is getting wild. It was wild for me. Oh, here we go. I see it. We're gonna show it right now. Transition back over. We'll take a look at Pickles. Pickles finished Aragorn. Look at that. That looks cool. In his professional studio format. Picture snapped. That looks absolutely fantastic.
Ooh, it does look good, doesn't
Well
it?
done. Well done. Well done, Pickle.
Pretty amazing, yeah.
Yep. That's a cool one. Thank you for putting that photo together and throwing it back up in the Discord so we could share it with everyone. Okay, well let's see. Where did we all get to? Let's see these minis, guys. Let's do the reveal here. Where are we at, Elston? Let's check out yours.
So I'm kind of done. Like at this point,
I'm done.
I don't know what else I could add without like really spending another like 20 hours on it or like micro doing stuff. So I think the only thing I probably need to do is just touch up a couple little details in there, but you don't really see them that much. So yeah, that is my Aragorn.
Aragorn looks awesome. Your Aragorn looks absolutely fantastic. Let's see.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Can you come back?
You want me to come back? You're still working.
Yeah.
All right, Danny. You want me to? How are you doing? You want to show it off? Oh no! Oh no! Don't drop them! Oh no! Oh no!
So I don't know if the light's gonna pick them up, but we've got a pile of tabletop ready-ish orcs.
Love it.
Yeah, so see if we can get the camera to focus.
Do the insta-hand. Oh, yeah, baby. Those look great. I love the
not
green.
picking up my highlights and stuff very well, but...
There you go. Right there.
Yeah. And so
That's looking good.
they're doing their thing. Cool. These little guys, they want to get scrappy. There's a big pile of Aragorns that are just out there waiting to kill them.
That's right. That's right. There sure is. There sure is.
Right. I'm pretty much on my last little
I can go.
Okay.
All right. That sounds like it's my turn. I'll show mine off. Let me bring up the Logitech cam and I'll get in here and you guys can check it out. I'll show you guys here in just a second, but up close and personal with
we'll see him pop onto the stream pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, I can see him now. That's cool.
Yeah, it came up pretty good. Not too shabby.
Getting kind of a Prince of Persia-esque vibe from it.
Ooh, I tried to go with like a little bit of a Prince of Persia vibe with it, right? I see that too. I like I went with a little bit lighter instead of making. I mean, he could. I think if I continue on with it, which I will, I'll dirty up the green a little bit. I'll grimy up the green a little bit on it.
Yeah.
Because that'll look cool. But I really like. I like my base came out pretty good here. My base isn't too bad. I got
really
a base
like
going. Yeah. I learned that I need to use half the bottle of technical paint if I want that effect to work. So.
Yep.
But yeah, there it
Nice.
be. There it be.
Right.
Not too shabby.
Oh,
I'm excited. Guys, we painted a whole mini on the stream today, and the stream crashed. Elston's camera crashed. Like, technology be darned today. We will finish our work. That's what
Let's see. Let's see Michael's Aragorn. Let's see this guy. See him in action.
Okay.
Nice.
Lovely.
Oh,
Nice.
That looks like a guy who's been running away from ruling Gondor for a while. He
I
looks
like that. That's looking good, Michael.
I've just realised I want to put a little bit of a wash over the thing on his back.
It won't take too long to do that.
Nope.
That looks really good, dude.
That looks fantastic.
Good teacher.
Hey!
Yep, look at that. Not a bad teacher. Not a bad teacher at all. Well, this has been a fantastic stream today, everyone. Michael, congratulations on that. That's looking pretty good. How do you feel about that? Is that how many minis is that now? Which one? How many does this make?
Number 3.
Number 3.
ridiculous.
Dude. Yes, for number 3, really good, really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quite nice. Those are looking great. Thank you, everyone out there, for tuning in with us today. Everyone did a fantastic job. I love all the work that you guys are sharing on the Discord. Again, remember, if you are new to the channel and you have not done so, the biggest way you can support the Crazy Crafter live stream is subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and posting a comment in the live stream after it's been processed, after we go live, not just the live chat. We love having you all here in the live chat, but that really, again, helps spread the love and help other people find us out there on the interwebs. Elston, thank you so much for coming out today and hanging out with us, brother. Like, what a joy, what a treat. And
thank you for having me. It's been awesome. I've had a lot of fun.
Cool.
You know what? I've just had just while you were saying all that, I've just had a personal victory, guys, on a monumental level.
What's your monumental level victory? You didn't super glue it to your ear. Is that it? No.
For the first time ever, my daughter, who's coming 3, has put herself to bed and went to sleep. She put herself to bed.
Whoa!
with not me or my wife at all. She's just gone off to bed, got under the duvet, went to sleep.
No way.
That's never happened before.
Teach me the ways. That is a I hope that repeats for you.
We can go for another hour now, guys, if you want.
I certainly can.
Yeah. Mine is still wide awake and is waiting for me to. I think he truly wants to actually paint some minis today. I've got some stuff I printed up for him over the last week, and he's like, "Can we paint today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can paint today." So I think I got more mini painting in my future today. Well, Elston, when do you how is it weekly now? You're releasing content?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's not a defined day yet when I release it. It's kind of as and when, but I do try to aim for a weekly video. So if you want to actually just see and interact with me, Pickle, and Spud, it's Thursday at 8 p.m. British time for Chilling Wargamers. And then I'm usually around on the Chilling Network somewhere, so find us on the Discord, find us wherever, and
wonderful.
Come say hello.
Nice.
Definitely head on over to not only the Chilling Wargamers channel if you're not if you haven't subscribed there, but definitely head over to Elstonation, subscribe to his content. He's got a great channel with much of what we had today. This just a wealth of knowledge and sharing not only the life and times of a mini painter, but also some insight as a YouTuber as well and what that's like. So thank you so much, Elston, for joining us out there. Michael and Danny, thank you guys so much as always for hanging out and joining us on the stream today. Always a pleasure.
No
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Anywhere else, man.
Thank you all so much. Until the next time, I'll see you guys this coming Wednesday when we go live for another series on Fights on Foam. But until then, be sure to craft your passion daily. Cheers, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.